The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
It's good.
All right, and now you should be able to hear me.
I can hear you just fine.
Perfect. Can you hear yourself as well?
Yeah, I can hear myself, yeah.
Cool. Any issues there? Anything need to be lowered or
No,
increased?
nothing. It sounds very clear. Yeah,
good to hear.
Everything looks good. Yeah. Okay, sweet.
Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for your help.
Awesome. Yeah, no worries. Good luck with casting.
Thank you. Take care.
This is...
Around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been finding ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. See you again. got millions of reasons to let it all go. Hope we're not too broken. I know I'm not always strong, and I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. We'll be starting the pre-show shortly, just getting all of our casters together and an announcement out, but just hang out, vibe with music, and we'll start it up soon.
How's it going?
Howdy, howdy. Ready for some good games today?
Yeah, Moggers versus KOA. Knights
Yep,
was
Knights of
Astoria?
Astoria. It is, I think it's the first one. I think it's just Astoria. There's no I in there.
Astoria. Oh, okay.
But yeah, excited. I'm just gonna put out the announcement for the stream and then we'll start off this pre-show.
Alrighty.
Alright, that announcement's out there, so now it's just happy to wait a minute or two. We'll get in and then we can start it off if that feels good to you.
Yeah.
Alright. Happy to start it off if you are. Welcome everyone to day 4 of the LEPL. Today we have Knights of Astora versus Moggers the final. Or I think it would be better as the finale, but the final, sure, we'll go with it. Joined by Seal. I think you are the captain for the Bruz team who aren't playing today, but happy to have you
Yeah.
along to help cast and talk about what to expect for this matchup.
I'm actually here just for scouting. I want to, get an edge on the enemy.
I see. So all the data I've collected, you'll just use that for your own nefarious purposes.
Exactly. No, I am happy to be here, and it's really just because I enjoy it. I enjoy kind of watching people play, and it's very fun. People developing strategies against other players and bans and picks and comps. Like it's really nice, and then seeing how they perform.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have an interesting series here today. There's some back and forth. There's some back and forth here that I want to talk about once we introduce the team. So I'll get started with the introductions just to start things off. Again, just a reminder for everyone that these are assumed roles because, of course, as we saw from yesterday's games, if you tuned in, people are switching like every other game. So these are some assumed roles. We'll see what they actually get into during the game. But starting us off in the top lane, I assume Sir Cuckington, platinum level top laner, plays a lot of Dr. Mundo. Like, a whole lot. Like, 990,000 points on Dr. Mundo with a 74% win rate. Like, that's... You don't want to see this guy on the Mundo if it gets pulled out. So I expect it to be banned almost every single game if it's not let through. This guy likes tanky split pushers. Seen him play the Mundo, seen him pull out the Tryndamere, seen him pull out the Yorick as well. So he tries to play for these split pushing carrier top laners, but so does our other top laner. So we'll see who ends up being stronger and can pull ahead for the victory. Have you seen any or played against Sir Cuckington?
Have I?
Have you? Well, maybe not you specifically, but your team in general.
I think we did. I think we stole. I want to say we stole the Mundo pick. We let the Tryndamere through, and we banned out the Singed.
Ah.
Yeah.
So did you
Yeah,
ban the
so we
Mundo as well?
no, we stole it from him.
Oh, you
We took the
stole it from him.
pick.
Ah.
Yeah, because we didn't want the moon. I think we did at least because there's definitely a game where we played Mundo against, and I'm pretty sure it was Knights of Astora.
Interesting. Well, maybe they're gonna pull it out and see. Again, Mundo it's a strong laner. I feel once you get to that like 2 item power spike, then you're pretty invincible. But it's getting to that point, which I think is an issue, especially if like yesterday we saw like the Nefiri come out. We've seen other strong top laners. So if they can put the Mundo behind, not so much of a problem. If not, we'll see where it goes. But yeah, looking forward to that. In the jungle, got Mad Lad, platinum level jungler. Plays a lot of Kayn, Volibear, Rengar even. 62% win rate on that Kayn. I noticed that Mad Lad really likes these meta junglers. So pulling out the Volibear because it's quite strong right now. Pulling out the Kayn because it's always a decent pick. I think I've also seen them pull out the Kiana if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of fast clearing junglers, a lot of priority towards something that's meta, something that's strong. They were also... Oh, they're not for this one, but they have been performing quite well in recent matchups. So they've been really strong carrying from the jungle. However, they're being matched today by the enemy jungler who was the first picks for Moggers. So we'll see if they can continue that streak of doing really well. Paired up with this jungle here in the mid lane, we have Sexy Shawarma from a platinum level player. Now, Shawarma is, at least from my point of view, a support main. And now a lot of these people in Knights of Astora are support mains. So plays a lot of Thresh, plays a lot of Blitzcrank, but then also has pulled out the Lux and the Veigar to sort of fill in the role as the mid lane. Not quite sure what to expect out of Shawarma. Because on one hand, support. 62% win rate on Thresh, 1.5 million mastery points. You can assume they're confident on the Thresh there. But then they've also played these like a mobile mage's mid lane, just something to clear waves and try and get ahead that way. So like the Veigar and the Lux. It was okay. I don't think they were the strongest champions for Shawarma, but I'm excited to see what they can bring in terms of the draft potential, especially the flex pick if they decide to flex Shawarma down to support and bring someone from the bot lane into the mid lane. Going on to their bot laner, again, assumed. We've got Lost, Platinum bot laner, play Smolder, Jhin, Kai'Sa, Twitch, even some Kayle, because they do play a bit of top lane, I believe. Very, very champion pool. They played a lot of Jax as well, so 62% win rate on Jax. However, they put Lost in the bot lane here. I think that's just because the team needs someone to play bot, and the other roles don't play it. No, no hate towards the bot lane, but it might not be the most popular role in the tournament, unfortunately. So they have a lot of champs that like their mid-game spikes. So Smolder, once you get that, I think it's 225 stacks, and you start to the execute damage. Once Kai'Sa hits 2 or 3 items, once Twitch hits 2 items and ultimate, is really powerful, can sort of change these mid-game fights. So I'm excited to see what they can bring to the table. Matched up with Lost in the bot lane is Darien. So Darien was the first pick draft for Knights of Astora. They are an Emerald, high Emerald level support. They're very, very good on support. I want to put that out there. They have a 70% win rate on Braum. They have a 69% win rate on Thresh, a 61% win rate on Nautilus. Like, this guy plays a lot of support and plays it really, really well. He likes champions with like a lot of peel, a lot of CC, and then enjoys these like flexible picks. So something like the Nautilus can be paired with a lot of lanes. Something like the Braum provides a lot of peel. He's also pulled out the Karma and the Maokai for big engages. So a lot of flexibility, and this is certainly the player to be worried about, I feel like, on this team, just because of how consistent he is on support. What are your thoughts on this team so far? Anything to jump out to you?
On the Knights?
On the Knights.
I think Lost from Light and Mad Lad are typically the ones who give us the most trouble. I think they have decent like champ pools, and I like you said, Lost actually played against our top laner or Scardio and did pretty well against him. Him being the one who's really the ADC player.
Yeah.
So it was quite interesting to see. I think Lost has a lot of potential. I think Lost sees a lot of things that a lot of people don't see. And
Yeah.
then Mad Lad just being the jungler is, he's definitely always going to be the threat, the person influencing the map. So I think if
Absolutely.
Lost really focuses on playing smart, playing safe, not risking anything, I think this team will be fine. Because like you said, Darien has a lot of champs who peel really well. It's actually Shawarma plays a lot of utility champs in the mid lane
Yeah. Yeah, I
and,
did
and
notice
scaling
that.
champs. And of course, Mad Lad has a decent amount of tanks, engagers, just people who could really influence the map too. And like you said, Circuit Cuckington likes playing a lot of split pushers. So he's going to take away a lot of pressure. And if you have someone who's a great team fighter, but he has to constantly answer this split pushing top, you're going to have a lot of trouble. So I think the big objective here is either to make Sir Cuckington uncomfortable, like we did, or just use everything you can to shut down Lost. And if Sir Cuckington isn't on an aggressive split pusher, then I think he's going to have some trouble in the later parts of this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what you said about like Lost flexing up that top lane. I did notice the little input at how we just could shut down Sir Cuckington and then it was all good. But I think this team, sort of like yesterday when we saw, I believe it was HP, when they switched all their characters around, their entire bot side could just swap their roles and still make it work. I feel like this team runs sort of the same way. So yes, we have Sir Cuckington there in the top lane, usually stays in that top lane. Mad Lad usually stays in that jungle. However, Shawarma, Lost, Darien, they have swapped around a whole bunch. In one of their series, we saw Darien play ADC and Shawarma play the support, while Shore, their sixth player, played in the mid. Lost even moved up to the top lane, like you said. So I think, because I think their main starting is this 5 with Shawarma instead of Shore, I think that they're going to play Shawarma in the mid lane and then have Lost Darien as sort of a combo on the bot lane. Maybe they'll switch it up in game 2 or 3 if things aren't working, but there's a lot of potential just because these players can play multiple different roles. I also think
Yeah.
that. Oh, sorry, I interrupted you.
No. Let me hear that thought.
I think that, like you were saying, their jungler, Mad Lad, is quite good. I think that if you can get Mad Lad ahead and let him, sort of take control of the tempo, take control of the game, it's been really effective in some of their matches on the Volibear, the Lilia even, maybe some of the Vi as well. With Mad Lad controlling that tempo and pushing the pace of the game, it was, easier for them to win. On some other ones, though, unfortunately, if Mad Lad falls behind, there was a loss on Jax where Mad Lad did not do very well. And I feel like that's a real limitation. If Mad Lad is behind, it feels like the team is almost disconnected in a way. I feel like Mad Lad brings it together, and if he's not ahead or performing well, then it can be a real detriment to the team. So I think that's something to worry about in this matchup specifically, is if Mad Lad can get ahead and sort of bring that team synergy together, or if Mongers can sort of take that away and overpower Mad Lad, say with early invades or early pressure on the bot lane, and disrupt how they want to play together as a team.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, so
It's
something
it's an
interesting to look
interesting
for.
team. Um, I don't personally, I don't like it. I don't want to see my my guys switching different roles. Usually somebody specializes in a given role, right? My whole team specializes in their roles, so I don't switch them off ever. Except like even Set, he's a top laner mainly, and I think he's a higher rated top laner than my current top on our team. But he's the guy who plays jungle because he's been practicing it. He's been working on it. Scardio hasn't. I'm not gonna put my top laner. I'm not gonna be switching their roles over and over again because they might be able to play a single champ well in a given role. I think these guys should really focus on understanding their role a little bit better, having a good like 5, 6 champion pool that they can play and play well versus one champion they can play well. Because I've seen in a lot of their games they do the switch off, and it's never really. I don't think it goes well for them, honestly.
I
I really don't think it does. I think they should. It seems like one person on their team stands out, and it's usually Mad Lad or Sexy Shawarma.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you there. I think that while yes, flex picks can be good and flexing players around can be useful, especially if, say, for example, you have one player who's an Amumu one trick, right? But they play a lot of support. Say you get a Mumu, then you can flex between support and jungle just to get them on that proud pick that they're super comfortable on. I can understand that. But flexing around more than half your team in the different roles, maybe it gets slightly better odds for your lane. But I think overall, because you have to focus on completely different like laning phase, completely different macro decisions, especially in the early and mid game, it's quite hard to find that synergy, especially if you haven't played a lot of games together. If you're switching up roles consistently, I think it just brings that layer of uncertainty still to the team, which, like we saw yesterday, yes, HP could switch around and play a lot of roles well, but I think it lacked in that team synergy because they had swapped a lot of roles, which ended up leading to their loss. So I do agree that sticking with one rule is usually preferred, but we'll see if maybe, they change my mind and actually get ahead on these different roles and able to carry the game.
Yeah, and I'm rooting for Knights of Astora. I need to see Moggers lose. The only
uh,
reason I say that is because unfortunately we had to FF our game. Our jungler couldn't make it. We couldn't find him. Still can't get a hold of him, so we'll see where that
oh,
ends up.
hopefully he's
But
all right. But
we
yeah,
we hope so. He's been
I
a MIA.
yikes. I was gonna say that that is one of the things I want to bring up as we move over to showcase Moggers the final, their team, is remember Moggers the final is coming in as the winner to this one. I think they have been ahead. They won. I believe they've won both of their games. However,
Yeah,
in one of them, they versed Blasphemy, and unfortunately, Blasphemy hasn't been doing very well. I think they're the lowest team in their bracket currently, and they also versed Bruz, which they had to forfeit. So yes, they've won 2 series, but I don't know if they were challenged super well in these series. So we'll have to see what they can bring, especially against a team like Knights of Astora, who, yes, lost to Bruz, but also beat Blasphemy. So it's like, it's sort of, where do these two teams stand? They could both be strong. They could, both take this win, or maybe one of them super strong. We just don't know it because they haven't versed enough teams, right? So excited to see
Yeah.
that. Anyways,
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm moving this along
No,
just so
you're good. You're
we're on
good.
time for the draft start. It's introduced Moggers the Final, or Mod. I think there's a story behind here. I'm not sure if you have. I believe that you played in season 1 of the LEPL, if I'm not mistaken.
Me?
Yes.
Oh no, I've never played in the LOPL.
Oh, Baron. Okay, well, you've just always been captain then. No worries then. It is my first season of the LEPL as well, so I'm a little unfamiliar with those who played in the first season, but I do know that in the first season there was also a team called Moggers, and I think they've had a couple iterations of this name, and that's why they come to the term Moggers the Final, because this is the third and supposedly final iteration of the Moggers team. But let's get in and talk about who's on this team. So in the top lane, I assume it's going to be Kiz, as an Emerald player. Gangplank and Azir main here. So really, really comfortable in this Gangplank. 1.2 million mastery, 58% win rate. You can expect him to do some carrying on this Gangplank. Now, a fun fact is Kiz is actually an EUS player. I don't know if they recently moved to NA or if they're playing from, on NA servers from EU. Not too sure, but just keep in mind that they might be playing on some ping, or maybe they haven't had as much experience playing with NA players. We all know how NA players are, unfortunately. But also, they've only played one match so far. So because their series against Bruz was a forfeit in their favor, they were only subbed in for the second match of their first series, which ended up being a loss, unfortunately. I think they did quite well in that Gangplank, but it wasn't able to carry the game to victory. So I am excited to see what they can do on this Gangplank if they're given those tools in a longer series. If they can pull out that Gangplank, that Azir, maybe a Mundo or Aatrox, and try and carry from the top lane, I think it would be quite interesting, especially against someone like Sir Cuckington, who, yes, is a strong split pusher, but if you're playing Mundo into the Gangplank, I think I'd pick the Gangplank like 9 times out of 10 there.
Really?
I think I would, just because you have that like scaling option. Even though, yes, Mundo is strong, I don't know if the positioning of Mundo is as effective in the LEPL. Just because as Mundo, you want to take space, you want to pressure the opponent. But if you can just blow someone up from a bush, that's kind of usually how these fights start off, right? So even though you want to take space and Mundo can be strong, I would definitely prioritize the Gangplank.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, definitely.
Moving on to the jungle. So Zundel. This is the first pick draft for Moggers. Emerald jungler, they play a lot of Kayn, a lot of Lilia. 54 and 63% win rate respectively. They really like teamfight junglers. Junglers that can carry a teamfight. They play that Lilia with the giant sleep. They play Gwen with that teamfight ult getting on the backline. They play a Mumu, a staple in the LEPL with that, game-changing ultimate button. I really think that they're a strong enough jungle to contest Mad Lad. We were talking about this a little bit before, how Mad Lad has been dominating on, the jungle picks for Knights of Astora. I think that Zundel can match that aggression and shut Madland down. And if that happens, I think it's going to be a much easier game here for Moggers.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Both junglers are going to be what's really going to be causing problems for everyone in the game. And I think I do like Zundel's overall tempo a little bit more than I do Mad Lad, just for the sake of team fighting, of ganking, and of camp clearing, just farming. Zundel just has like, well, I mean, if you look right here, we got a Kayn, Lilia, two people who can easily clear their camps and get a gank off, and then maybe even steal the enemy camps. Like, there's just brutal champions to play against if
Yeah,
Kayn
I
goes
mean, these
unpunished.
Raptors aren't going to stand a chance against these two champions. I'm telling you right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. There's not going to be any counter picking for those Raptors. They're
Yeah,
screwed.
exactly, exactly. And matched up with Zundel here in the jungle, we have Tater Tots in the mid lane. Emerald 2, they play a lot of Yasuo. They play some Zed, some Hui, some Galio. 68% win rate on this Galio. So I'm excited to see if this can come out, especially with that Lilia, with that Kayn, if the Kayn goes on to the back line, you have a Galio ult in your head, you're not going to be having a good time. Now, I noticed before when I was talking about Sexy Shawarma, they play a lot of utility, especially when Shore, who is an Azir main, isn't playing for them. So I'm excited to see if Tater Tots is going to play sort of a carry style mid lane or something towards that, like that Zed, that Yasuo that wants to get ahead early and sort of snowball the game, or something a little more utility based. So Galio with that big ult, Hui with that, team fight damage. Uh, I'm not too sure what they're planning to bring out, but I am excited to see what this mid lane matchup is going to look like.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's going to be exciting, or it could be very boring because
It could be. It
it
could
might be
be.
it might be sexy shawarma. Again, playing really good util, playing really good farm and wave clear champs, and then Tater Tot could be doing the same thing
It
with
just
Way.
matches it, and then it's like, well,
Yeah,
we see a lot of farming in the mid lane. Maybe it's not
yeah,
not the fist fight we want to see in the mid lane, but it's what we get. So we'll have to see.
yeah.
Keep our expectations tempered in that aspect.
Hopefully, we get some really good roams.
Exactly, exactly. Which brings us to the bot side. So in the bot lane, we have Preston, an Emerald bot. They played a lot of Rise. They have played a lot of mid lane, played a lot of Rise there, but now they're playing in the actual bot lane. So they've played some Ezreal, Kai'Sa, they've had a Twitch game. I'm interested to see. They have a high win rate on some of their mid lane champions. Specifically, they got a 63% win rate on Anivia. They played Victor, they played Syndra. What what are the chances that we see an APC, an AP carry bot lane? I don't think we've seen it at all during this tournament, except for the Brand game, Brand Nami, during our first week. But I really want to see one of these like huge scaling AP carries, just because if Preston is so comfortable in them and can play them, I think it would match really well, especially if there's a Yasuo or a Zed being played in the mid lane.
Yeah, I think something that can negate and be very protective, scale really well, and manage the fight would be really good in the bot lane as well. Especially like you said, if we're getting a lot of AD mid laners here who assassins or just great fighters, it could be really really awesome to see an APC in the bot lane just kind of controlling the whole map, weaving everything like Rise does. I love that champ. I think that champ's really cool. I love it
Yeah,
every time I get to see it played. So and it's nice to see people execute Rise so well.
yeah. I mean, it's kind of refreshing to me to see, like, you go phase rush Rise, you just run in, EQ, EQ, WQ, EQ, EQ, and then run away, and then deal half their health and run away. I think
Yeah.
it's fun, not very interactive. Maybe you need hard CC to deal with him, but it is very fun to see. And paired up with Preston in the spot lane is going to be Dark Shark. So they are a gold support. They play pretty varied pool. They play some Thresh, some Bard, Braum. We got Rakan in there, Melio. This guy likes playmaking supports. So that Thresh for the hook, that Bard ultimate can change a fight. Rakan, super great engager. Also has a 63% win rate on the Melio. Hopefully they can bring some stuff. I've noticed with Moggers, just as a whole, their bot lane has been quite solid. Now, that being said, a lot of their games have revolved around playing for their solo laners. So getting Tater Tot ahead, getting Kiz ahead. AWM, American War Mace, who also plays this team, isn't playing today, but getting them ahead. I would really like to see Zundel try to get their bot lane and play through their bot lane ahead. Because I feel like they've been drafting, especially in their recent series, Caitlyn Karma, Ezreal Bard, Twitch Thresh. Like, these are lanes that have a lot of kill pressure, and these are lanes that have a lot of playmaking around them. So I really want to see the jungle try and play towards this bot side and get them ahead, because I have watched some of their games, at least the highlights from them, and I think that this bot lane is quite consistent. So I really want to see them, get their chance to carry, get their chance in the spotlight here.
I think they definitely have the champ pool to facilitate getting their ADC ahead, getting their support ahead. For those two to roam and put pressure on the map, right? Once they get into the mid lane, once they start moving up to objectives, down to objectives, whatever it is that they need to do, um, they have the champ pool to do it. We just got to see it happen, see it
Yeah,
executed in that way if that's something they want to do.
yeah, exactly. Um, other than this, I think that, like I was saying before, these teams both have had a or not mixed experience, but they both versed some weaker teams and got a forfeit, and I think these are definitely the two strongest teams of this group. So I'm really excited to see them verse each other, especially in the final day, because this kind of decides their placement for the finals. You know, if one team comes in on top, that kind of decides it. So I'm really excited to see what's going to be stronger, if Zundel can carry in the jungle, if Mad Lad can carry in the jungle, how this mid matchup's going to go, how this bot lane's going to go, especially with all the swaps that can come out from Knights of Stora. So super excited to see this game, and hopefully we are ready to jump into draft quite soon.
Yeah, and I hope we see it. Did you add me, by the way?
No, not yet. I'm getting that set up as we speak.
I see how it is. Okay,
Yeah, you
okay.
did. You haven't. No, you haven't played with me at all, so I don't even know you. You know, I can't add you. But no,
I sent you. I sent it, but okay.
we'll get that set up shortly, and then hop in draft and see what these teams pick. Just give us a moment.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it. Of course, I'll start talking about the draft when draft starts. I don't want to give anyone any tips until we're actually in the thick of it and the time constraints. So I think it'd be messed up. Be like, oh, I think they need to pick this, and then we'll see them pick whatever it is I say on freaking stream. I'll be like, damn, I just drafted for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and while we get that set up, we'll send you guys over just to a quick. We'll give you some music to wait while everything is running, and then we'll be back with draft as soon as possible. All right. I didn't even notice, but we have absolutely started this. So we will just start it off, I think.
Oh wow.
Apologies
Okay.
for the delay, everyone. I think some miscommunications here, but draft to start up. So we have Volibear, Thresh, Smolder banned for Mog, and we have two bans taken away just because there was a player that couldn't make it, so we have swapped in a sub, and they have a 2-ban penalty because of that. With their third ban, they banned a Lilia away. Now we have Ezreal coming out for the side of blue, and the Ashe Kane to answer that. What are your
Oh,
thoughts on
I love
this?
the Kane pick. I love the Kane pick. I think he's somebody who can get on top of an Ezreal, but not only that, I know it's one of our boy, I forgot Zundel's
Zundel? That Zundel is
one of his
Mongoose. I
junglers.
believe it is Mad Lad who's going to be picking up this Kane.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's what I love to see. That pick gets stolen, and he won't be able to play that, especially with like an Ashe, right? You don't want to have an Ashe against a Kane, and he just goes into you and he blows you up, knocks you up, you're done. So I do like this so far. I think Ashe is a great champ. Israel and Ashe both have to get in range with one another.
Oh, what's happened here? A Nun champion has been picked.
I love
What
that pick
is
too.
that's a
I,
crazy.
I
I think that counters most other champions, unfortunately.
yeah, yeah. We'll see what what gets typed in chat and what exactly that is.
Let's see if we get any update from them. Oh, it looks like the draft has bugged out.
Two none picks. I
Interesting.
know.
Okay, it looks like we
Brutal.
may have a Mumu coming in for the side of Mog. We'll see if any more picks come through or if this draft is permanently down. A Mumu and Braum is what people are saying.
Amu and Braum. Interesting, interesting. You know,
We are going
okay.
to. Yeah, so the draft link has crashed, unfortunately. So let's fix this up here. Um, we'll get a new link for people, and hopefully it doesn't happen again. Fingers crossed.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I think those will be the picks that we're gonna see though. I think Kane is a good pick for Knights of Astora. I think Ashe is fine. I think Ezra will be okay. I think it's an interesting pick early on, just because I feel like Ezreal's a great pick into people who want to like try and get a hold of him, but struggle to get a hold of him.
Yeah,
I think he'll struggle a lot into tanks if Astora decides to get a more some beefy frontliners.
yeah, absolutely. So from what we saw in the previous draft, let's like you were saying, we have some tankiness for Mog, and we're gonna need something in response for Astora. Just because we had the Kane come out and the Ashe come out. Yes, those are good. Yes, those can bring damage, but we do need something to sort of be a little tankier when this Amumu is gonna, Q and ult it, when this Braum is gonna ult on your head. So I think we need to see something like either appealing or engage support, or something like that Mundo in the top lane, right? Because I don't remember if it was banned out, but it would be a strong pick, especially
Yeah,
into a
I am
Mundo.
hoping to see the Mundo pick, just like you said, just for the Mumu, but also it's just awkward. And Ezreal and Braum is a normal pick. The Amumu grab is just a little awkward when you're going into a team. Because then Ezreal has to follow up, Braum has to follow up. Their damage is Ezreal's poke. Braum is like, yeah, he's gonna engage on you, but his damage is lacking. Amumu's general damage is lacking. He needs an extended fight. Like he'll do a lot of damage in his R, his Q initially, right, in his E and W, but he wants that extended fight with his passive to stack true damage. So,
Yeah,
and Silas pick, I think that's fine. I think there's a lot to do there with Silas. Can steal Bramble, can steal Mumu,
I think Silas is a
can
great
get a
pick here,
snipe.
just because the
Yeah.
Amumu is up, the Ezreal ult can do a lot of damage, Braum ult can be great for peel, and it sort of takes away a pick that I think could be strong on the side of Mog, especially with that Ashe ult and any utility mid laners that are going to come in. I think the Sylas is one of the best ones here. Azir
I think
ban
the
for
Jax
Knights of Stora and Jax ban for Mog. Go ahead.
I
Sorry,
think
I
the Jax
interrupted you there.
ban. No, you're good. I think it's a little bit of a weird ban. I wouldn't draft like a Jax into a Mumu and Braum comp because I assume there's going to be other people. There's a lot to shut down Jax there because they don't need to auto him, right? They got all the abilities that you need to shut him down and his W.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Ezreal is so safe, I think, from Jax because yes, if you perfectly time the stun and jump in, then you can stun Ezreal up. But I feel like as soon as Jax jumps in, Ezreal dashes out of there. Braum would dash to Ezreal and then knock up or apply that passive to start the stun stack. And
I
then
do
there it
like the
is, that
Mundo pick.
Mundo ban coming out
Yeah, the ban.
and
I think
Hui banned
that's
on the
what we
side
needed to
of
see.
Knights. I almost would have preferred Mundo to be picked on on third pick here for Knights of Stora because yes, Silas is strong, but I feel like having the strong top laner is more important. That being said, out comes the Alistar, and that kind of takes away all of what I was going to say, just because now we do have someone super tanky that ultimate can like shrug off the CC, and now that opens up the option to go for a hyper carry top lane. So something that can deal a whole lot of damage really quickly. Something like a Tryndamere, maybe an Aurelia. Singed even could come in. So we'll see what they pick.
The Alistar is definitely a really interesting pick. Right? Because if Amumu tries to go on to like Ashe, Silas, or Kane, we might just see an Alistar boop, just boop him away. So if Alistar's in the thick of his team, he might have trouble if he gets ulted.
Yeah. Gangplank coming out here for the
And
side of Mog. I like the pick. It does a lot more damage. I don't know how I like it with the team comp of Knights of the Stora because I feel like Gangplank, yes, you want to be dealing damage, but that's another great ult for the Silas to steal. You're not going to be doing much in the Alistar if it engages on you. This Ashe and Kane can kind of kite you pretty well. Gragas comes in there for the top lane. This might
wow,
be a mid lane Gangplank.
I think it is a mid lane
Is it
Gangplank,
the mid
and I think
plank?
this is Gragas top.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll see what they pick into this. Gangplank into Silas is a decent matchup, I think, just because of that true damage on the Gangplank passive as well, setting up the barrels. Silas can't really dash into you.
And the wave clear. I like the wave clear that Gangplank offers, which is going to give him plenty of roam potential. And the Mordekaiser pick into the Gragas.
I can see the Mordekaiser pick. You want to take that Gangplank out of the team fight. You want to take the Amumu out of the team fight. I don't know if I like it in terms of the comp. I think they're missing damage on the side of Knights of Stora. Because yes, they have the Silas, yes, they have the Kane, yes, they have the Ashe. Mordekaiser as well. But all these champs need to get ahead to do damage. So if any of them go even or fall behind, I think it's going to be a rough time.
Yeah, I think they have decent peel. I think Mordekaiser can grab a hold of somebody, right? Someone who's definitely going to cause chaos, like an Amumu, possibly like a Braum, who's two peels. But and hopefully that's what Ash needs here to just pop off, maybe just front to back this, destroy Amumu over time. She's gonna have trouble with Braum. That's for sure if Braum's still around.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
it's definitely an interesting comp on both ends. I feel like there's a lot of like different things that we can do here, all right? Because we got decent engage with Amumu, Braum, and Gragas, and Ezreal can follow up, but I assume Ezreal isn't going to want to use his dash to follow up. So Gangplank's going to have to be somewhere behind Amumu and Braum to be relevant in these fights as well. Silas, Alistar, Kane, all great engage, can follow up together. Ashe being ADC has her range, so I think she'll be able to follow up just fine. And Mordekaiser can grab a hold of somebody who's going to be a threat on the enemy team. I think
Absolutely.
this is all.
Quick
I
question. Oh, there you
honestly,
go. You're in. Just want to make sure
uh,
you're in for game.
yeah. I
But
was gonna
yeah,
say
absolutely.
honestly, I prefer KOA's team
Really?
overall. I really do. I think Mord can do a lot here if he does okay in lane. I think no matter what, Mordekaiser will outscale a Gragas. I think he'll outscale definitely a Mumu, definitely Braum, and he'll always be a threat to Ezreal. I think Silas has a lot to work with. I think Alistar gives a lot to the team if a Mumu tries to go in. And Kane is just can do a lot of damage. I assume he's going to go red Kane, so there's a lot of utility and damage there. And then I think Ash, I don't think anyone should be able to get a hold of Ash with this comp. I think she'll just be able to hit for free.
Yeah, I I can see what you're saying there. I still think I favor Mog just because Amumu, Brong, Gangplank, like these are just cookie cutter alts. Just you see a target, ult in their face, and then you win the fight. So although I do see the outplay potential by Knights of Astora, we've seen with other LEPL games, the outplay isn't always the way to go.
Yeah. I think it's not that I want Knights of Astora to win. I just don't want Moggers. Hold up, I said that wrong. I was trying to make a good joke, but I effed it up.
You don't want them to Mog on them or so forth.
I don't want Moggers to lose. I just don't
Mm,
want them to win. I don't remember.
yeah,
It's
something
it's
like that.
freaking
Okay, okay. So
yeah,
you
yeah.
just want to see them do both teams do well. You want it to just be an even matchup.
No, no, no. I
Okay.
don't want
Oh,
the
so you're just hating on Moggers.
match.
Okay, okay. I see what you're saying.
We love Moggers. It's just for the pick for playoffs, we need them to lose this series.
Oh, I see. I see. So you're going for the
Yeah.
series loss. You're going for they need to lose so we can win. I see.
Yes, basically, if they lose, I think we have to play tiebreakers to establish seed.
Yes. Yes, there will be tiebreakers for seeds if there comes to it, but
That should put
that's a
everyone
lot
two
more work
one
for
2-1.
us. So we gotta we'll see who wins and
It's like, don't put that on me, please.
yeah, exactly. Here we are getting into game. Again, we did switch up some sound settings. I know someone just for people in chat, someone yesterday was complaining about the Discord sound, so hopefully that's all gone. I did change some settings, so should be good to go. But let us know if any of the volume settings are a little bit scuffed, and we will change that there for you. But going in, it looks like, yeah, you're right. It's going to be a Gangplank mid and a Gragas in the top lane here.
Yeah, I really do expect. I think Mad Lad here really has to pop off. He needs to get ahead. He needs to farm. He needs to get his camps, and he should be able to do that clear a lot quicker than a Mumu. So we should probably see some. I think we'll see an early gank, probably topside from Mad Lad is my prediction. But
That makes
I mean,
sense. I'm just worried about the setup they would have in the top side. They don't really have any hard CC. Yes, they have the Mordekaiser pull, which can slow you a little bit, but if Gragas just, he can dash forward, he can flash out, he has that phase rush to get out of danger. So I think if you go towards that top side, you don't really have any setup. Whereas if you head towards this bot side, the Alistar is all the setup you need. I think Alistar can just go into his
yeah,
Braum, Ezreal can dash out, but that Braum is going to be locked up. And I think I mentioned this before. Zundel wants to, play towards these solo laners. Mad Lad should play towards these bot side because I think with the consistency that Preston and Darkshark have had, I need someone to go bot and break it open. That's my hope.
yeah. I think if Zundel plays for either mid or bot, I think it'll be better. I don't think him playing for top will do a whole lot. Just Gragas is like a diffuser top laner.
Mm.
He makes it really difficult for other enemy top laners to get ahead. And if you try to, play into him, that's usually when he beats the brakes off of you. That's when Gragas does well. But usually Gragas is never your hyper carry top laner,
Yeah,
right?
he's there to he's there just to neutralize, there to sort of sustain the laning phase and then
Definitely.
provide some utility for your other stuff in the mid game.
He definitely has damage. He definitely can blow people up, but he's just typically your diffuser.
Yeah, I mean, I have seen some
Um,
crazy full AP gangplanks, one shot, but that's usually run with like Electrocute or Dark Harvest. With this Phase Rush, I do expect it's going to be more that tanky build, that Disruptor build.
we do run at a delay, right? So I'm not giving away any information to them, right?
We don't run at a delay, but no one on the team should be watching the stream if they're playing in the game just for, you know,
Okay, okay,
competitive
okay,
integrity.
cool.
And we're not going to check everyone's PC, but that's just sort of a given, you know.
I hope they're not doing that. Yeah.
Like
I think
that's not very cool. It's not very, cool of them to do. So, don't do
I think it was
it.
very smart of the enemy, or I'm saying the enemy. I think it was very smart for Alistar to get some early vision in that mid bush. Not so smart to get poked so hard so early. Oh, but that's not even their vision. That's
No, so that's
Braum
the
and
Braum vision, which I really like. So Preston Darkshock, like I was saying, they have some control of the lane. We see the Alistar going to get a ward on the Raptors, like that. See where this Amumu is going to start, but it isn't. It does mean that he is late to lane.
Ah,
Some early trading the
so
top
looks
side from Mord.
so it
Gonna
looks
walk
like
him
they're
right away
both
lane.
gonna path for bot lane. And I think your assumption is correct. I think they're gonna look to try to bully Braum. Because if Kane does not go red Kane this game, I expect it to be kind of difficult for him. They just
Yeah,
have so many tanky people.
it does look like a red Kane game, especially with this Amumu, this Gragas, this Braum. You're not going to insta-kill him. Like, if you go blue Kane, you're really only going for that gangplank. So trading to the bot side, Alistar knocks back the Braum and still gets the stun off, but he wants to walk it off.
It looks like they got the Prile in the bot lane. It's going to shove in. That's going to be a two-wave crash, and they're going to look to have it bounce back to them very early on, which is good for the Amumu and good for Ezreal and Braum. They can set up a potential gank there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both junglers are pathing down. Kane will have the faster clear, so it might be like contest Crab if he has Prio in the bot lane. But we will have to see. I mean, it's almost too early to tell. Yes, there's better trading, I feel like, from the bot lane of Moggers, but
Yeah.
it's still anyone's game, right? Like, no kills have been happening. This top lane has been pretty even. Mordekaiser getting a little bit ahead, but that's sort of the nature of the lane early. And this mid lane is still pretty explosive.
I was
I say
hoping
with
to see a little bit more from Mord, top actually. He did not bully for the level 2. He just kind of hung out in his lane. But that's okay. We'll see where that goes.
Yeah, I saw
Gragas is
him
a
walk
little low.
Gragas out of lane, but then I don't know if he was still in range for experience or didn't, walk him up for long enough, but wasn't much of a level lead lost there. So just some
Here we go.
simple trading. And looking
The
towards
slow
that bot
push.
side, we see Amumu that does get spotted there by the Ashe, so they do know Amumu's bot side. Kane, like I said, clears faster, is going to get that first scuttle. They see Amumu bot side, so probably should head up and take that second scuttle. See if Amumu can do anything with the tempo that he has. He's on vision all the way. Remember, this ward is put on Raptors by Alistar, so it does catch Amumu walking towards this mid lane.
I don't know if
Silas not
Shurima
respecting.
noticed that.
Dashes out of
Uh,
the bandage toss, so he's able to get out. And I did mention it was a little, just a farm lane in the mid lane, but looking at the CS, we're
There we
up
go.
like double the CS on this gangplank. I guess that
Oh,
Q
wow.
poke is just too brutal.
Now, to be fair, that wave is a lot bigger, so we'll see what he can pick up under turret. But hopefully he can even it out a little bit right here. I don't know. Oh. Let me not watch.
Yeah, just gonna...
I get a little vocal sometimes. Like I remind myself to just like.
Oh, so trading in the
Just
bot
look-
lane, Alistar's gonna dash in, get the Braum passive on, and walks out. Just a little bit of poke. But I didn't want to mention anything, but this mid lane, that CSing, leaves something to be desired there, I think.
I think that's something we could improve on, though. Something we can make practice of, right?
Yep.
Getting like our captain or just another player on our team to mimic this lane, this matchup for future games of, hey, I'm gangplank, I'm gonna pressure you out maybe early on, see what you can farm.
Yeah,
right?
I think
And just practice
any
them.
lane against this Silas here, because Silas I feel is quite weak early. He needs those levels, needs those items just to feel strong in these fights.
Oh.
So I feel like if you just practice being bullied out a bit, then it'll help you a lot in lane. Ooh,
I think if
pull
I
back
was this
dodge attacks.
Mordekaiser, I would have positioned in front of the TP or past it to then put pressure on Tater Tot's TP. I felt like that was a bit troll on both of them.
Yeah, it might have been. Just quickly checking, what time are you at here? Because I'm at 5 minutes, 40, 41.
I'm at
42.
42.
Yeah,
43,
perfect. All right, just make sure we're on the same page. You mentioned the TP, and I was like, oh, it was a little while ago. I want to make sure that we're still on the same page.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
yes,
no.
I do agree.
Oh, wow, what an amazing ward in the bot lane in that bush.
Oh, we see Amumu coming
I
down
just-
here. Kane is covering. Amumu's kind of out in the open here. Is against 3. I think he just tried to walk in for a gank and didn't expect the Kane to be there. Passive comes on.
Oh.
Oh! Well, they're turning
I
it
think-
around. This gangplank is making all
Ooh.
the difference. Has to flash out from Ashe. And, wow.
Darian was a little bit nervous. He was walking, trying to position himself a little bit better. But I think if he had just continued to shoot at the ADC,
I really
Or
feel
not
like
the ADC, the Amumu. He
Amumu, I
kills him
really
there.
feel like that was winning if they just focused that Amumu, because he was 1v3, you know, and the bot lane was zoned off a little bit. But that Gangplank ult came
They
down, and
definitely
then
kill
they
him.
just didn't choose their targets very well.
Yeah, you can't be afraid of the game. It does damage. It does a good amount of damage, but it does a lot of damage over a long period of time. So get your pick real quick. You know, Ezreal and Braum out of position. Get your pick on the Amumu and keep
Yeah,
going.
I mean, and then that's kind of the worst case situation there. You get nothing. You know, it's 2 kills over to the side of
Yeah.
Moggers. They also get the dragon. Huge wave crashed and back for this Gangplank. You know, he's ahead by 20 CS. Like, this is kind of, other than the top lane, which is the Mord versus Gragas, which is expected to be Mord favored in the early levels, it's kind of losing on a lot of fronts here. I feel like the team cohesion here. Remember what I said about Mad Lad? If he gets behind, the team sort of looks a little shaky, a little disconnected, and I'm really worried that might happen here, just because the death is already coming through for that Kayn and for the Alistar.
Yeah, I think we really need to communicate intentions a little bit more as a team, right? If we're not going to completely destroy Amumu there, right? Just say, hey, let me work on getting my stacks for Red King, and let's back off.
Yeah,
And leave it at that. Because Amumu was trying to get away. The team was trying to support him in getting away, and they ended up doing that. They ended up succeeding. Level 6 in the bot lane, putting a lot of pressure on Darien.
absolutely. Oh, that
Here we
Braum
go.
passive might just spell the end of it. Nice E away from the Alistar. Has to
Oh.
flash over to get that stun. Top lane is just going to solo kill from the Gragas. What happened there? Ezreal kills the Ashe, and they might just get the kill on the Braum as well, or Alistar. Alright. Well, that kind of explodes the game. I don't really know what happened there. In the top lane, I think Mordekaiser just stayed too long after, you know, with the Gragas sustain.
This is brutal. Like Amumu should not be allowed to farm like this. He should not be allowed to gank like this either.
No, and he's just, like, look at him right now. He's taken all the grubs. He has taken both objectives. He has ganked. You know, the bot lane's ahead, the top lane's ahead, mid lane is ahead. They have all of the objectives. Like, what's happening? It's complete disaster here.
I love the play in the bot lane. I love them getting Ashe. I love them just crashing a massive wave in the bot lane. I would have loved to see Ezreal reset as soon as they got that crash. Maybe getting a play or two, but maybe just a play.
Yeah,
And he gets out anyways, and it's a cannon wave, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think what I was saying before about the lack of damage here. We have the Ashe and Alistar bot lane. Yes, this is strong. It provides so much utility for the team. But early levels, you're not doing a whole lot. You need these items for Ashe. You need the ult for Ashe. And you need the Kayn or Sylas to come down to provide that extra damage to kill. Whereas on the side of Ezreal and Braum, deceptively, you know, deceptively strong in these early levels has the Braum passive. You know, it does a whole bunch of damage. He does extra damage with auto attacks once you proc that stun. Ezreal, with his passive stack, is going to get so much damage down. I think they just miscalculated how much damage they would have coming into them, and they just died.
I feel bad for Darien here. He's having to play really passively. His team's kind of just started to roam, at least his Alistar has. I get that they can't play this fight all that well, but at least be there so he can walk up and maybe get farm, maybe get some XP. This is going to put him way further behind, and it's going to be a lot harder because he's the only champion here on his team who can consistently scale through CS and not requiring a gold lead through kills.
Absolutely. Oh, looking at the top side here, we have Alistar and Kayn coming up to try and get this Gragas. Gragas does have, you know, ult and flash almost coming up, but Mordekaiser ult comes out. Now they're just waiting. Body Slam does come down. He doesn't want to go in because he's quite low. But I think Gragas ult comes out, but he's walking the wrong way. I think this should hopefully be a kill towards the top side of Knights of Astora. But he's dodging pretty well. Amumu is almost here. He does have ult. No way.
Oh my lord.
No way. And they get the kill back as well?
Okay.
Can they do
Or
it?
maybe it was his potential troll. Oh.
Oh, okay. They did get the
This
kill onto
could've-
Amumu, but played it a bit too much. Mid lane dies
could've
to a
been
solo kill
beautiful.
with that ult and ignite coming up from Gangplank. Bot lane is pushing the turret. It's still fighting the top lane. It's still a 1v3. You lost your Amumu, but you're still fighting. What's happening here, man? You wanted to push the wave in, but I don't think it's worth it. Like, it's a 2v1. You have to give this. And, a plate going down in the mid lane there for the Gangplank. Gangplank is so accelerated here. You know, 30 CS up, 2 kills up, has plates. This is... I'm crying right now if I'm Knights. If I'm bot lane, I'm just saying, guys, please, we just need to make a hero play. Has to flash from that Braum ult. And that's going to be first tower going down, hopefully pretty soon here for the side of Mog.
I think Lost of Light just doesn't play the Gragas lane all that well. I think if he holds his E, because Gragas loves to go into him, if he just holds his E, wait for Gragas to go into him, I think he can grab and extend that fight a lot longer. But instead, he just kind of gets poked. He throws out the E. Gragas sees that he no longer has a way to extend the fight. Gragas gets his free trade and walks out.
Yeah, absolutely.
A little difficult for a Mord there.
Yeah, I think they just need to focus on trying to get someone ahead, because right now they got no one ahead, and that's making the game really hard. I do like to play towards topside. They do get the kill onto the Amumu, and no kill traded back, so that's quite good, but stacking these objectives here is Moggers, so they need to make something happen and make something happen quick, otherwise the game's just slipping rapidly out of their hands.
I do feel like they're supposed to be a better early team too, but we're just kind of letting people scale.
Yeah, I mean,
for
this
free,
this
good
Kayn,
damage, good trades.
we were talking about this earlier. The Kayn clear is quite quick. You know, you want to try and get a camp lead on the Amumu, especially if the Amumu's playing a lot for these team fights and these ganks with this bandage toss. Mordekaiser are supposed to not win, but at least be up against Gragas, just because, yes, Gragas can, you know,
here we go, maybe
sustain a bit, but and then walks out of it. First tower going down here from Mog, and that's just boot secured.
I guess, I don't know. I felt like he had the potential to R him. He had just used his phase rush, and he just kind of lets him walk away and get another free trade.
Yeah, and this kind of brings us back to the point we were talking about before in the pregame, where, yes, all these players can play different lanes. As of just saying, this Kayn's coming in here on the top side. Is he going to hit the... Alright, he does. He ults into the Gragas. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Yeah, Amumu ult comes out, and that's it. In the mid lane, they are making a play onto this gangplank, but I think he is able to flash it out.
Oh.
Misses in the top lane. I think this Kayn is just dead here.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Oh.
He was cooking, but he didn't cook hard enough. The stove is at half heat, that one.
We see the ping on the Ashar. Man, I really think it's a lot of communication that the team should focus on a lot more. Like that Ashar could have been a saving grace.
Yeah, and Alistar needs to get out of here. He is completely alone. I don't know if they realize, but Silas is like out of the fight. So he's just 2v1ing there as support. But bringing back to the point before is hopefully we don't have any more fighting right now. As I said, that they're picking quickly. Brahm's going to come in. We have Gangplank. Ignite going down onto the Silas. Braum ult misses, and Silas walks it out. If I can finally make my point, guys, please stop fighting. But we talked about it a bit in the pre-show. These players, yes, they're flexible, can switch roles, but like you were saying, this top lane matchup can be played a little better. Maybe that's just because he hasn't had that experience because he's been playing bot lane for some games, right? So if he was consistent on one role, maybe it goes a little bit better. Who knows?
And that's just experience at that point. That's just matchup experience.
Yeah, and oh my god,
how to play against the Gragas.
Alistar has to ult and flash, doesn't even matter. Preston just ease forward and hit some of the auto attack. I don't know if I like the idea there. Alistar, walked into the gangplank and tried to combo him, but there's no damage there, Silas does not have damage. He built Rod of Ages. He's going super tanky here. Ashe is not in the area. Kayn's not in the area. I don't think going in there is the right call, especially when you're behind.
I think the way that they win this at this point is Mordekaiser needs to scale. Kayn needs to keep up and with his farm and scale.
Yeah, Gragas ult comes out, that Braum pass is going to come down. I think they just kill here. Braum ult comes down, but it's not going to be enough. Ashe arrow hits the Gragas, but the play is already over. Oh man, this is rough for him. I almost feel bad, I know I'm meant to be unbiased here as the caster, but this just kind of seems biased. Like a stop. Like it's 10-1. They're down 6k gold at 15 minutes. They're down all the objectives. They haven't got a single objective. They haven't got a single tower. They've got one kill. That's on to their top laner. It's looking bad. It's looking bad here.
See, like I said, every time he throws that E out, every time he throws Mordekaiser pull, Gragas knows he has a free trade in his hands, and that's exactly what he does. He gets his free phase rush trade every time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like what they're trying to do. Yes, they need to get a pick. They need to get something on the opposite end of these fights. I like it.
I'm glad we have the red Kayn active.
Yeah.
All right.
Perfect.
That can go either way. Shut down to
Ashe. That's good. But they have to use so much. So they use Flash for Kayn. They got to use Exhaust for Alistar. Alistar almost dies. And for what on the Gangplank? Gangplank ult.
600 gold. Yeah.
And on the
Not
top
bad.
side here, they get top turret, and I think they're just going to take down this Mordekaiser. Flash out from the Amumu to dodge that Q. And this Gangplank, or sorry, Gragas may just run him down. They don't get the charge in a tower, but that's just a kill.
Oh, but they get the charge
And
on the
crash
mid-turret.
into mid lane. They drifted. This guy has a driver's license. That is crazy.
Class
All
A
right,
CDL, baby.
Consider me impressed. Like, I thought he was just, going for the kill, gonna waste that.
Oh,
but
my
no, he
lord.
decides to go and drift it into the mid lane.
Okay. This might be a little bit troll on Tater Tot here. We'll see what happens.
To be fair, he gets the kill.
Whoa! And
I don't know if he needed to use ult there. He gets the kill, he gets the crash. I think that's fine. You can die for that. You don't really need to ult. I think that's a little bit much, but maybe he's feeling himself.
No, I think that was useless. I think that was such a bad play on him. He got the kill on the 1 and 2 more, now 1 and 3, and fed Silas a free kill, and gave him the shutdown. It's like an 800 gold shutdown altogether.
Yeah. However, that being said, that kind of distraction allowed blue team to set up and take the third Drake of the game. So, yes, maybe it was a little bit troll to use the ult there and sort of waste their time, but all in all, they're still winning really hard here. That gold lead has ballooned to 8k.
I am like the firm believer of do not give anything. Play so tight, play so well. Play as if it's a chess match, You're just dwindling down little by little by little, and you're maintaining that lead the entire way through. Giving any sort of gold shutdown to especially like a carry like Silas stresses me out, right? Giving it to Ash stresses me out. So, I mean, at least Knights of Astora are getting some decent enough plays here, granted from the mistakes of Moggers.
Yeah, well, I mean, again, this is on Mogger's game to lose here. Like, they are in a commanding position, and I think that if they play everything
100%.
perfectly, they're a shoo-in to win. That being said, LEPL, anything can happen, We've seen throws heavier than this, so...
I'm rooting for you, Knights.
Hey, we love an underdog story. I think if they can pull this back, it'll be a great upset. Especially with how this game's gone so far.
Can we get a Knights from in the chat, please?
Knights. Love that. They're just finding picks as Amumu. Oh, gets caught as he goes over the wall. Braum passive applied. Gangplank ult comes down. Amumu ult comes down. And he is just CC'd into death. I think the Mordekaiser might be on the wrong team with that death realm there.
Gotta love the comment section.
Yeah, chat going... It's an
Going
interesting
berserk,
place, Twitch
baby.
chat, I think. But I do love them. I mean, yeah, and it's just... Yeah, Mad Lion getting shut down. This bot lane not going the way
we get the ult and we land the E against the freaking Gragas, so he might get a kill here in the top lane. Oh,
he might, but that's that's phase rush coming out. Has to spend the flash, dodges away from the grab, knocks him back. This isn't going well.
Oh, there we go.
Q
Finally,
comes in.
Thank you.
The savior in the top lane here
with the solo bolo.
Yeah, and that was, I think, you can't be that aggressive, especially that low health. As Gragas, yes, you have sustain from your passive, but that Mordekaiser ult's going to take your stats and then some. So, you need to be really careful, especially he's not as behind as the rest of the game, right? So he's still decently strong.
He's a great scaling champ, and he just stat checks so many top laners. And it's brutal to play against him, especially once he takes that 10% from your stats. And as an AP top laner, too, his Q just became even more powerful, 10% more powerful.
Absolutely. And you have to remember, yes, you are getting strong as a Gragas, but the stronger you are as Gragas, the more stats you're actually giving to Mordekaiser. So even though it seems like Mordekaiser's behind, as soon as that ult comes out, you're just taking away so many stats. So you can absolutely win the fight then. Looks like they're setting up here on Otacon. I have seen Otacon throws, so maybe this happens in the favor of Knights of Astora, but...
No TP in the bot lane from our Azir, from our Gangplank enthusiast, but I assume let me see here, he has R, so...
Yeah,
he'll be there in spirit.
He is there in spirit and in damage. He's at 2 items already.
I think Moggers should be looking to pressure this...
Yeah, well, with the bot lane push they have, they need to just either start this up and force a fight, because I think they can win now with their wallet diffs. Yes,
Yeah.
Knights of Astora have crawled their way back a little bit. The gold lead has dwindled a bit, but they're still super strong.
Yeah, and it's a 4v4. I think they have all the utility that they need to keep the enemy at bay, to do poke, and just to get out. I
Absolutely.
still...
Oh,
Okay. Hold up,
Flash,
we got a
Amumu
Mumu
ult comes
R.
in onto 2. Ash ult comes down to the Gragas. They're looking to poke out the Gragas, but again, he's super tanky, and this Ezreal just free hitting in the backline. Okay, Alistar has popped ult, gonna make him super tanky. They take out the Mordekaiser.
Oh,
No
hold
kill
up.
return, except...
The free shooting Ash over here cleaning up the team, getting Mad Lad coming in, dashing into the Gragas, killing him. Knock up on the Amumu. Focus up. Hey, way to go from the underdogs. Just like
Wow.
you said, anything can happen. in the
Anything can
LPL.
happen. There you go. There's the throw that was needed. Preston gets
Hold
a kill on the
up,
back
wait a
end.
minute.
That might just... Yeah, it takes them off the objective, but
we
I
need
think
to
that's a one
respect
fight.
the ADC a little bit more. And this is what I was talking about on the damage. I knew on the damage side, Ezreal was going to have trouble, especially against opponents like Alistar into Mordekaiser. And Silas building tanky. I guess Silas wasn't in that fight. Let me backtrack. But Kane with decent sustain, like these people are going to be issues for Ezreal. And Ash, who has that more consistent damage, not so much poke, but real consistent damage, is just going to dwindle people down.
Yeah, and I think
And it
both...
happens so beautifully.
Yeah, well, I think both backlines they were free hitting, but the issue is that Ezreal was free hitting the first target, and that first target was Alistar with ult up. 60% damage
Yeah.
reduction, you're not going to do a whole lot towards them. On the other side,
Oh.
it looks like we have a disconnect coming here from the mid lane of Mog. Slight pause. Now, remember, we do have, I believe, is it 20 or 30 minutes of pause time throughout a series?
It's actually, I think it's just 10. I think anything after that, within a series, I think it's 20. But within a given round, I believe it's 10.
Yes, yeah, that sounds about right. So 10 minutes maximum per game for a pause time that has to continue, whether or not the player is back or the situation has resolved. Luckily, we're not even waiting 30 seconds before this mid laner has come back, so hopefully just a small disconnect.
I'm going to step away for a second. I'll be right back in like 30 seconds.
Hey, no worries. We have the time. It's not like anything important, like a dragon fight's about to happen. So as we wait for this pause to unpause, looking at the game state, Ezreal, super strong. Gangplank, super strong. I think, yes, you have the scaling there of Ashe. Ashe has gotten 3 kills back in the game for her, and you have the utility of the Sylas and Alistar. It's still really, really Mogger's favorite here. I think they just need a strong team fight. Looking at the Amumu ult, which is just coming up here, as well as the Gangplank ult, they can work together to try and, find this damage, especially now that the Gangplank's here, and he's going to bring so much damage here. I'm holding my breath, waiting for something to happen. Amumu doesn't have flash, remember, but does have the binding into an ult if something needs to happen. Braum ult comes in, just hits the Sylas. Passive going down to Mordekaiser. Kind of whiffs, in my opinion. I think
I think they needed to pressure a little bit more and put him to a better choke and wait for that Braum ult.
Yeah.
I think Amumu has to engage for their team a little bit more.
Yeah, they have position here, but it's... I don't know, we don't have the Braum ult, Amumu doesn't have flash. I think you just have to try and poke them down or make something here for Knights of Astora. Gangplank ult comes down, some poke coming out, doesn't hit. Ezreal ult only onto the Sylas. Oh, big Alistar engaged into that stolen ult from Sylas. Ashe is hitting on the back end, but
on the Braum, okay, hold up. Enemy team, Knights of Astora sustained well enough for Darren Chibuzo to get in there and start doing some real damage.
Start whamming, yeah. And this Gangplank is just... I really thought this Gangplank would do more damage, but he missed the barrel and then didn't have anything to follow up. Yes, the ult came down, but it's not enough to combat the healing and sustain of this Red Cane. That being said, I don't like fighting here. Like, you've won the fight.
I don't either.
You've won the fight, you've won the dragon. Just get out.
It's going to be a cleanup on everyone here.
Yeah, I think this is way too far. You're overplaying it a whole bunch. You got what you came for, and now you're looking for more. You got greedy, and that's what's going to be your downfall.
Yeah, it's 100% greed. And Darian has been doing really well, not being greedy this whole game, playing safe, farming up what he can, getting shutdowns, just for that to happen. And it's not so much on him. I think he really wanted to protect his team there. Lost from light, and both Shoremina.
Yeah, sure.
They just kind of hung out in range of Ezreal just to keep poking at him. And it's like, had they not done that, walk out, win the trade, win the drag, just leave.
Yeah.
Take your W and set up for the next objective.
Which is going to be this Atacon on the top side, and now that after that, you know, cleanup there from Mog, they have position on this Otacon, and I think they're just going to burst it down. Like, that's just an objective going over, and that's really bad. I think if you had reset there after getting Dragon and not played it so much, you could have been, you know, there at least to match or even first on the Otacon, but now that going over to the side of Mogger's, really bad look here. I think I'd be really worried here. You know, you have Dragon Soul, you have Baron is up, you have the buff from Otacon. Look at the level lead here. Sylas and Azir are equal, but remember, this is after the Rod of Ages has procced. So that's already with the extra level that Sylas is getting. On the top side, 2 levels up. In the bot lane, you know, a level up on the ADC, I think this advantage they have and this lead they're creating is just going to explode.
I think, honestly, Knights of Astora just kind of need to refine some key elements of just regular gameplay of you take your dub and you walk away. You know, don't try and go after something more. What can we be doing instead? We could be resetting, and we could have set up for Atacon, a really crucial objective that a team needs. Here, I guess we're going to go ahead and get started on Baron. They're strong enough to do it, I'd say. And,
yeah, but
and
hey,
to take
this
the fight.
Gangplank is in the bot lane. It does have ult, but remember, he is half the damage here on the side of Mogger, so they have to pull it off.
This is true. A lot of their damage is going to come from Gangplank landing barrels, especially against this team who's going to be fighting this nasty brawl, this freaking dog match, and then
yeah, hey,
Gangplank's just going to be there getting free damage.
Absolutely, you have 4 melee champions into a Gangplank. If you can set up these barrels well, you're just going to win.
Here we go. We're going to try
Starting
it
at Baron again. This doesn't look like a T1 Baron. This just looks like an LEPL Baron, especially with, you know, the other team closing in from 2 angles here. Sylas has TP, but isn't TPing yet. I think if they want to fight, he needs to TP in soon. A little far, I think.
We get the Sylas TP, but yeah, it is a bit far.
Okay, it's anyone's game now.
Ult comes
Sundal. Out. And looking 16-12, and the Amumu secures it. Stolen Amumu ult comes out there on the backside for Sylas, but I think he's just going to be brought down beside the game.
Wait a minute. Mordekaiser coming in with Darren Chibuzo supporting. I think he can potentially win this fight against... Oh, hold up. I think he got chunked.
Yeah, this Gangplank is doing damage now. Ashe has to run.
Oh, I would have shot... Oh, no. Oh, I would have shot the freaking... Oh, my goodness.
And Gragas coming in here. Just going to take that kill to help the tower shot.
I think if he shoots the lights, he gives himself a better chance of just getting away just for that extra movement speed increase. And he's playing Ashe, an ADC who builds attack speed, so it wouldn't have been anything more than a second just to get that extra movement speed increase.
Yeah, that being said, you were zoned away from everyone with the Gragas coming on you, you know, dashing on, so I can understand the death there, but still. It's an interesting fight. Yes, there was a shutdown, though, on the Ezreal. So, on the side of Knights of Stor, this is red side here, they are in a decent position. They're still in the game. This Mordekaiser is strong, this Ashe is strong. They do have the peel coming out from the Sylas and the Alistar. Let's see what they can get done. It is still a really big objective deficit here, with the next dragon coming up in less than 20 seconds. And I think, once again, we have Moggers just being the first to set up for this objective. I feel like Knights of Stora have just been late to most, if not all, objectives this game. I think that's something they need to change. Look at it in draft, you know, talk about that with their captain, because if you let them get ahead and get set up on an objective, especially when they're ahead like this, it's just going to be gone, right? You can't even walk into contest if you have no vision.
Yeah, and I've always told my team, we set up vision 2 minutes prior to any objective. We were working on setting up that vision. Because
yeah, at least a minute beforehand, just something there so you can see what's happening.
If you try to set it up 30 seconds beforehand, the enemy team is already there.
Mordekaiser ult coming in here onto Gragas, but he is alone against 4 people once he comes out of this ultimate. Has to flash away. Amumu flash ult catches him on the brim of it, and the Ezreal ult comes in to seal the deal. That's going to be Mordekaiser going down.
I get he dies, but I don't think the flash ult was necessary on the side of our Amumu.
I can understand they have Barons, they want to push it a little bit, and I guess getting any kill sort of extends that. They're able to create a numbers disadvantage, so they can push on 3 lanes if they wanted to. But yeah, I think that Amumu flash ult is such a big engage, especially for any team fight you're taking, and using it on one target may not be the strongest idea. You already poked at Mordekaiser out, he's already out of the fight, and I think pushing forward normally is the right call there. That being said, 2 inhibs, they might be looking for some sort of end here. They have a big wave.
Oh, they definitely have the numbers advantage, and they definitely have the pressure from Gangplank and his barrels.
Yeah, Mordekaiser's up here in 5 seconds. Might just be a 5v5 to decide the fate of this game here.
I think they should look to just have cleared the minions there and pressured the turrets a little bit more, but I guess we're going to go ahead and back off. That's fine, too.
Yeah, pinging there to that top turret. They might want to try and get 3 inhibs here just to be safe. They have the soul. They have, the Baron buff, which is just worn off here. They might just be wanting to wait another 2.5 minutes for this next Baron spawn and then end the game from there. But playing it safe, I think, which I can respect. I think that a lot of teams sometimes think they have what it takes to end, and then they throw it away by giving a bunch of shutdowns over while they try and hit the Nexus.
I think for this game
Gragas
to be
ult comes
won...
in, pushes the Mord away. Braum ult comes down, knocks him up, and this, yeah.
Oh, just the CC chain on both champs. There's not much they could do there, unfortunately.
Absolutely, this Braum passive is just doing work against all these melee champions.
Okay, maybe we see a play from Darian Chibuzo just to destroy. Oh, Lord have mercy.
Barrow comes in.
Oh!
What is an archer to a pirate? That is just so much damage coming down there from the mid lane, and that may be the game-ending play with only the Alistar here left to try and save their crumbling base.
I see 1v9 Alistar before.
I have, but not against a Gangplank Ezreal. And it's going to wrap up the first game of the Mongols the Final versus Knights of Astora series.
I was really hoping that Knights of Astora, with that play in the top side, would have eventually come back, but unfortunately, they do not.
Yeah, it was.
Hopefully.
I want to say it's a close game. It was not. It was, I think, a really one-sided stomp. Yes, we saw Knights of Astora come back a little bit with the shutdowns for the Ashe, especially in that mid-game round, like the Otacon fight and the Dragon fight when they got ahead. But they couldn't bring it back. They were too far ahead. This Ezreal 12-1, this Gangplank 7-1, and then so much disruption here from the Amumu ult, the Gragas ult, as well as the Braum with his passive. I think it was just game over from minute 5.
Well, we might see a different game coming up here soon. Right? We no longer have the Diffuser or Gragas. We no longer have, and he plays a lot of Gangplank. We're not going to see Gangplank again, and Kane's not going to be available for either junglers now. So maybe we get some very interesting picks. I'm hoping to see something once they actually start drafting. Then I'll kind of open my mouth a little bit more. I don't want to give ideas.
No, fair enough. I mean, I think for both sides, you need to watch what picks they have left, right? So, yes, the Gangplank's out. Azir would be the one to look for a ban if you're trying to ban out mid lane. For the bot side, Ezreal for Preston, really strong. Now looking towards like that Kai'Sa, that Twitch, if you're trying to play ADCs still. But then the rest of the players have quite a varied champion pool. So unless you're trying to brand out specific champions, like this Volibear for Mad Lad, there's a lot of flexibility here, I think, in terms of drafting that these teams could go for. But I think that the Amumu coming in and the Braum coming in, those teamfight ults, which are just the go buttons, right? You ult, you stun everyone, you ult, you knock people up. I think that's kind of what wins the games right now. Yes, we see the Ashe coming in super clutch. We see the Sylas bringing so much utility there. Mordekaiser getting ahead in the mid to late after getting some shutdowns. But at the end of the day, in a 5v5 team fight, if you're the team that can get, the 3-man, 4-man, 5-man stun or the knockup, you're just going to win the fight. It's as simple as that.
Unless you're me, then you're built different.
I suppose so. We'll have to see who's built the most differentest in the second match that's coming up here of Knights of Astora versus Mongols the Final. Should be getting into draft fairly soon. And while we're waiting, I will turn on some music for everyone watching in chat, just so we can have something to listen to while we wait. All right, I looks like we are in to the draft. They were ready to go. They started it up completely. So we have bands coming out for blue side. We have Lilia, Gwen, and Sejuani. So all jungle oriented bands on the side of Knights of Stora. On Mog we have Thresh, Bear, sorry for the name, and Jax coming out. So some just comfort picks the side of Knights of Stora. We have Xin Zhao first pick on the blue side, followed by Diana and Caitlyn on the red side. Sivir and Azir back to the blue side, and Galio last pick or third pick on the red side before this second rotation of bans. That's going to be Renekton coming up for the side of Moggers.
I'm trying to think why we're doing a Renekton ban. Who are we trying to grab in the top lane? What are we nervous of? Renekton is just such a hard champion to execute, especially in modern league. It's not like where he used to be 2 3 seasons ago, where he was just deleting everyone. But
Yeah,
we'll see.
absolutely. I mean, there we go. Mundo ban again over from the Knights of Stora. When
I
is it going to
think
come out?
that's a brutal play on Knights of Astora. I really think they need to pull out the Mundo.
I would have liked to see it as well. Like I don't really know who they're banning it away from on the side of Mog. I guess maybe Kiz plays at top, but
Yes, I believe Kiz does
Kiz
play
does
at
play at
top.
top. They take the Azir also away from Kiz, so maybe they're just trying to ban out this champ pool here because Gangplank's on the table. Azir's been picked away from him. Mundo's been banned. I wouldn't be surprised if I see like an Aatrox here on ban 5. They're trying to target the top lane.
I
It's gonna
think
be
you
a
just get rid of
Vladimir.
neutralizers. Yeah, I think Vlad's a fine ban if they play him.
That's a Yasuo coming out here. Diana Yasuo, strong combo. So it looks like it's going to be Galio towards that top side with the Yasuo Diana in the mid jungle. Into Azir, I don't really know how the
Oh,
matchup goes. I think the range
that
is going to be a little
that
bit of a
could
problem.
that could be a Yasuo top Malphite pick. I think that works really well into a Caitlyn Yasuo. We'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. I think it's a great takeaway as well because imagine picking Malphite here on 5 as Mog and then going Galio support. Like, I think that's a crazy combo. Diana, Yasuo, Malphite into a Xin Zhao, Sivir, Azir. I think Malphite is not only a great takeaway, but it synergizes really well with the need for engage on the side of Knights of Astora. And Nautilus coming in for the last pick on Knights of Astora. It's going to be a Nautilus Sivir bot lane. Don't really know how that goes. I assume it's decent. I do
I
like
felt like
Sivir to be paired up with things that can either peel or buff her, so like more of an enchanter focus. Disengage can be good. It just might have to be with the jungler. Otherwise, Nautilus engages, and if Sivir can't follow up on time, especially into the things like the Galio and the Diana, might be a bit disconnected.
yeah, I really do. As soon as I see a Diana, I think okay, they're gonna want to have some follow up. Diana, Yasuo, Galio, Leona have a much better engage, and the peel on the side of Koei of Knights of Astora is all gonna have to come really from Nautilus, Malphite R, and if Xin Zhao doesn't just get one shot, his auto attack, right? His 3 auto attack knockup and a ZR, it just feels a little bit uncomfortable versus champs like Leona who have great lockdown. Diana can follow up with an amazing ult, following up with a Yasuo knockup, followed up with a Galio knockup. It feels a little bit nerve wracking.
Yeah,
I'd say, and
absolutely.
Caitlyn should just be able to just shoot in the back line or shoot facing forward for free. Like I don't think anybody's going to be able to dive her, and if they do, they have so many ways to kind of stop them.
Yeah, absolutely. I I think Knights of Astora have a decent draft. You know, they've taken away a lot of strong picks. They have a team composition. They just want to go in with the Sivir ult, Malphite ult, a Azir on that back line. But I still like the team comp of Moggers. They have this
You know
Diana
what?
Yasuo combo, Galio to jump on top of them, this Caitlyn Leona, which is going to be really strong in lane and really strong outside of lane. If that Caitlyn range, everything else is sort of up there in that front line with the Galio. I just like their team comp a
I
lot better.
I think a big issue with Knights of Astora and a lot of the other teams is they draft their junglers first, which isn't necessarily bad, but if you draft a jungler that can't play peel and engage, but is mainly just an engaged jungler, you're gonna cause it's gonna be awkward when establishing the rest of your team. Like I think it's best to draft someone in a role. Like Azir is fine because Azir has great poke. Azir has great disengage. Right? Azir can do a lot of things. He can follow up with his team. He can play front to back. He can play anti push. He can push. He can play disengage. Like he can do everything he needs to. I think Azir is a better first pick into a lot of matchups than Xin Zhao first, right? Or a top laner who can play engage or peel. I think picking something like Xin Zhao first establishes what you're trying to play, and I just think it's a little bit awkward. Are you there?
Sorry, I was muted for a little bit. Apologies, I
Oh,
didn't. You were just talking to yourself.
yeah, I know. It's like, okay.
No, I was just gonna say that I agree. I like that. Right, I don't know if I like, but the difference in comp for me is that Knights of Astoria have picked very strong lanes. So Sivir Nautilus, an Azir lane, a Malphite to sustain anything, a Xin Zhao in the jungle, very strong. Whereas on the side of Mongers the Finale, they have played more for that wombo combo. You know, the Galio ult, the Yasuo ult, the Diana ult.
Yeah. I think team fight composition, I think Moggers have it, but definitely in laning phase, Sivir into Caitlyn's one of the biggest counters is Sivir, right? Yasuo might not like a Malphite top if Malphite can manage to scale a little bit in his laning phase, get some armor going. Yasuo might have a hard time with that, but when it comes to the team fighting, I think the enemy team might. I always do that. The enemy team. I think Moggers might just take the comp fights.
Yeah, I really think so. As we are loading into game here, slowly but surely. I think, yes, this team is, you know, we've seen Knights of Astoria be strong, but I feel like in at least in that first game, they kind of just got gapped. I don't know how else to put it. I can't really put it lightly. They really got gapped across the board. So I'm looking for them to come back strong with this strong jungle mid and this strong bot lane to try and show what they're made of in this game two.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I think they have a better chance, right, with stronger overall laning phase. Maybe they can carry that out into the later part of the game, carry their lead and move on. Because Sivir has good scaling, Azir has good scaling, Xin Zhao has a good middle game, right? Great early middle game. Malphite is just going to be a nasty tank who's going to cause a lot of issues, and Nautilus is always going to provide great peel, great engage. So I think they have the possibility of shutting them down early and just moving forward, but we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, absolutely. And super excited to go into this game. We saw tons of fighting, especially towards that bot side, which I really was looking forward to. Have to see how it goes this game. So we get into game two of the Knights of Astoria versus Mongers Finale series. As it loads up slowly. I say it and I'm just waiting for it to take over. I'm waiting and waiting, and then, well, should be
Oh
along in
wow,
just a second.
they just shot in.
And there we go. All right, looks like should hopefully just be a 5 stack here. Let's see how it goes. Maybe looking for some kill threat on this top side. This Yasuo and Galio. opening up together.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Poking around for a Raptors ward is blue side.
I like that Dark Sharp places that early vision ward there. I wish to see that a little bit more from Sexy Shawarma in this game, but that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as Nautilus Sivir, you kind of want bush control, because if you give Caitlyn bush control, it lets her do so much to the lane. You know, you can poke a lot from a bush, you get your headshot stacks faster. If Leona is in bush, can just pop out slightly to get that stun or that E. So I think fighting for bush control is really important, especially if you're both melee supports. But yeah, no sweeper, no ward coming down from the side of blue. Maybe they're saving it. Remember last game, they did get that deep ward onto the enemy Raptors to try and scout out that jungle position. This time they do the same thing, but using the top lane ward. We'll see what these lanes can do as we get started.
Oh,
Malphite walking through Yasuo here. Ooh.
With a Q start. Honestly, I think W start would have been better from Lost from Light. Just because people like to underestimate that early stats he gets from that W. It's like 15% of his current armor ratios. So he would have had like 50, 60 armor at the start of the game. Yeah. Plus that additional damage. And if he's going Grasp, it doesn't make sense to me to go ahead and take Q.
Yeah, that is a big thing, is if you want to take Q, go Comet, right? Go Comet for that poke. If you're taking Grasp, then you want to be in this Yasuo's face, and I don't think that a Q start is going to have the intended effect.
He's gonna take E there. And it's not gonna land.
So
Yasuo's gonna get that early pressure.
Both junglers clearing here to the bot side.
Decent trading in the mid lane. Decent pressure.
Yeah, trading here on the bot side. I think Leona has gone a little bit too far, has to flash away. Ignite comes out here from Nautilus. Flash over from Sivir to get first blood in the bot side.
Oh, predicts the flash into the Nautilus hook.
There's no... Okay. I'm going to call that predicted just because it sounds cooler, but that was a crazy play there by the Nautilus. Predicts the Caitlyn flash and barrier, gets the pullback, and that's a double kill for the side of Knights of Stora.
At least Caitlyn gets one of those kills.
Flashes out, walks back into the taunt.
Wait a minute.
But getting a lot of damage on this Galio here. Both junglers are just now finishing their clear. Have to see how it goes. This has just been a scrappy game across the board. I think Knights of Stora saw that previous game and said, look, we got crushed, but that's not what we're made of. You know, we have a strong early game. We can play it, and they are showing it now with this Darian playing Sivir in the bot lane. Nautilus opening up mid allows Azir to get the kill, and that's going to be Feats of Warfare going over to the side of Knights of Stora.
And that's really important for an Azir to get that kill against the Galio mid.
Yeah, absolutely. It starts that, you know, scaling early, right? Like, it just accelerates you a whole lot.
It starts at scaling, but it also just negates Galio's purpose as an anti-mage in the mid lane.
Yeah,
and then it's going to allow him to play that lane a lot easier, that laning phase. Because you saw they were chunking each other pretty well. And
yeah, absolutely. Now... I mean, you traded flashes there to try and get some damage down, but that Nautilus opening up mid just wasn't expecting it. And then ends up with the kill going over. I think if they were, you know, a couple seconds later with that Diana coming up from bot side, could have made a play there. But yeah, Knights of Stora playing tempo really well here. And now zoning off the Caitlyn for wave. Like, this Caitlyn is supposed to come in to win lane here. You know, usually you see Caitlyn picked up as an aggressive answer to any of these scaling ADCs just because you can get so much pressure down and try and poke them out of lane. But with the double kill onto the Sivir and this Nautilus zoning out, I think it's, you know, it's completely negated this Caitlyn pick in the bot lane.
Here we got a gank possibly in the top lane. Oh, we have the vision.
And in the bot lane as well. Lots of trading in the bot lane. In the top lane here, just able to walk out from that gank.
Get out. Nice. Brutal pressure on the bot lane. This is going to be tough for the Caitlyn. Oh, but Sexy Shawarma getting caught under turret. It's going to lead to a kill.
Oh, just goes in a little bit too far there. And is able to be picked up. Was that... I think that was the Leona that got the kill there, actually.
Was it the Leona?
I
think so. Yeah, I think
it was a Leona. So
that's
not
unfortunate,
the best,
but
hey, it's a kill.
A kill's a kill.
A kill is a kill.
Yes, or gold. I love to see it.
Exactly.
I think Tater Tot's realizing he can't quite back just yet, especially with Malphite and his passive holding the wave.
Yeah, I like this trading just because if you've been tracking the junglers, you know, Xin Zhao is not around right now. So you have sort of free time to push in this wave and get a recall off. If you look at the CS numbers here, Moggers the Final have managed to get some CS leads both in top and mid, as well as the jungle clearing. So they have been quite strong on that front. But the kills have all gone
Kind of
over to the side of
surprising,
Knights of Astora.
especially as an Azir against Galio.
Mm.
It looks like they're going to switch out between their lanes, which might be very interesting here.
I don't mind this too much. I know Malphite does do some poke damage, especially if you're leveling Q first. Does have the ult there for the top lane is the unfortunate thing. So
I
can
just
look
think
for an angle here if Azir gets too low.
Malphite, I think, will win those trades, and I think, though, Azir is a counter to Yasuo, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I like this a lot more for Knights of Astora, so I don't really see the benefit of the trade here. Maybe they see something we don't. Maybe they're just playing and they're more comfortable in these picks. Maybe they're playing to have, you know, Yasuo here in the mid lane just to get some better roams off. I'm not too sure.
You know, it could just be how Malphite's going to outscale Yasuo in the laning phase once he gets Thornmail. It could just be as simple as that.
It could just be a rotation, you know, wasn't able to get to top lane in time, so has to go mid, but...
Oh, they definitely walked down from each lane. I don't know, it was weird.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the thinking is here, but maybe we'll get an explanation after the game. Just have to see how it goes. Some fighting here over the crab in the top jungle. Going to lead to Xin Zhao picking it up and Diana walking away.
Lost the Light needs to do a little bit more with this lead so they can keep accelerating, keep moving forward.
Yeah, dragon has spawned. It's up. I would like to see Knights of Astora start stacking these dragons early, just because they do have that win condition late of the Azir and the Sivir.
And I believe they have the better all-in the bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, and they are ahead, right? You have you do have the Serrated Dirt coming out for the side of the Caitlyn, but the BF Sword is... At least I always prefer BF Sword over anything, really, as one of the first buys for an ADC. It is just kind of the strongest item.
Good trade coming out top against the Lost from Light. He's a little low on mana, can't quite get the shove in.
Yeah, in the bot lane, we have Mog actually starting up the dragon here. The jungler is on the wrong side here for Knights of Astora, and that's just going to be Drake going over for Mog. That's a steal, I think.
Here we go. But Mad Lad's working on those Void Grubs.
Yep, and solo Bolo in the top lane.
Ooh.
Or the Galio. It's not what you want to see, especially, you know, you got swapped into. You thought it would be a decent matchup. I guess they're showing it was, you know, get the solo kill. Grubs are being traded over. I really would have liked to see this Xin Zhao and the bot lane, you know, take priority over this dragon. I don't think giving it away is the right choice here, especially with the lead that you have in this bot side. Maybe the thought was there's no 6 on Nautilus yet, so they didn't want to fight it, but still. I think this Sivir is so strong, you can't just be giving that for free.
A little low on mana here from Mad Lad, with Zundel collapsing on him. I think that fight could go either way.
Absolutely. I think Mad Lad is able to walk it out, though. Just go back to
moving to the
clearing.
mid lane to go back to Tater Tot. Getting a good shove in the bot lane. Recall from our beautiful Darien.
our beautiful Darien. He is looking quite majestic here. First item picked up around 9 minutes. 9 minutes 20.
That's nothing. ADC items are cheap.
I think you're feeling really good if you are the bot lane for Knights of Astora.
Definitely. I would agree 100%. I think there needs to be more pressure against the enemy bot lane from Knights of Astora. I think we need to see more from the jungler, more from ganking from either whoever's going to be in the mid lane.
Yeah.
Especially from our Azir. Azir has good wave clear. We should see a lot more roams from him.
I think that this Xin Zhao just needs to path bot. Like, this is where your strong lanes are. You have your Nautilus there for setup. You have your Sivir there. It's going to do a whole bunch of damage. I think you just need a path there. And you went for your top side objective. You went for those Void Grubs when your top lane died. Right? Like, already down in CS is this Malphite. Yes, you're playing for, like, to be that team fight champion to get that big ultimate, but you just need to play to your strong suit right now. I feel like you're not really doing that as Knights of Astora.
And Shurima, he sees it on the vision. There we go. I'm happy to see that.
You're maybe looking for a dive here with his Yasuo moving up, leaving Malphite to collect the wave. I do like, though, how Shawarma is playing around with Mad Lad here. The jungle support is falling into the round, playing as a unit. Ooh! It's going to be shuffle into the tower. I'm not going to get too much down, though. There's no damage to follow up, unfortunately.
I don't get what the fear is here from the mid laner. I feel like Malphite can easily win this trade.
I mean, you are going in as an auto attack champion with no item into a Malphite. It's never gonna feel good.
Oh, I was really hoping to see maybe Thornmail first into the enemy Yasuo, but I guess not.
I guess not. I can appreciate Sunflower. I think it was buffed in a recent patch, but I don't think it's the item you want. As Leona engages, going to be fighting on two fronts here with Xin Zhao fighting a 3v1 on the side. Nautilus hook is going to miss.
Yasuo, flash.
Yasuo has to flash out.
This is what I'm hoping to see is a little bit more pressure in the bot side against Caitlyn, against Leona, and potentially against the Yasuo roam.
Yeah, I like the fighting here. It was a little bit, split, a little bit disconnected, but I do like trying to make these fights, especially when you're strong earlier. Or, not strong earlier, but when you're strong early, is this Xin Zhao.
And here's my gripe is, like, I guess at least grab Bramble and then go into Sunfire. Because he's going to build Blade of the Ruined King. Like, we can see that's where his item pathing is going. And that it's almost always the grab. And so any tank into a Yasuo, we got to fight in the bot lane. Darian Chibuzo, Ignite's gonna kill him.
To that Ignite.
I'm griping too much about the top lane matchups.
No, you're all good. Yeah, that Nautilus face checked that bush, and they were both waiting there. Sivir was a little far away, so couldn't actually do the damage, and Caitlyn was free hitting while that Sivir was running to lane, so yeah, just an easier
It's heartbreaking
kill.
to kind of see our lead go away little by little.
Yeah, I think that honestly, I want to say that Mog is playing these lanes really well. I think Mog definitely shows they have had stronger lanes. Knights of Astora have been playing their team fight well, with the Nautilus roaming and then the
Here we go,
Sivir
game to the mid
ahead.
lane. I'm hoping we can get that knock up. You have to use flash.
Has to flash. I don't know if that's worth it. You do get the kill in the end, but that's 2 ults and a flash for nothing there on the side of Knights of Astora. You do the kill, I guess, but can you get anything out of it? Dragon's up, and Mog is looking to start that again, like we were talking about earlier. They are just early to it. Nautilus is not there, doesn't have any wards on it. Caitlyn's late to lane. Xin Zhao is looking at their top side, and it's just going to be given away, I think. It's going to be a second dragon going over to the side of Mogger's Vanel.
Which is sad, because like a kill like that in the mid lane should mean we have the pressure in the mid now, and we should be able to collapse on drag. Like, I get we may not have our ultimates, but Xin Zhao, his kit is based around all of his basic abilities, and his ultimate just kind of helps his basic abilities be more successful, right? Malphite, yes, his R is so important, but after that he has nothing. He's still a big meat shield who can potentially do a lot of damage and peel for his team. So it's sad that we lose second drag there, especially because I think we're building Mountain Drake.
Yeah,
Wind Drake.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a Cloud. Yeah, it's gonna be Cloud Soul here. But I agree. I think it's just you had to burn 2 ultimates to get that kill in the mid lane, which I don't know if was worth it because then you didn't have ultimates to fight for this Drake. But with the numbers advantage, surely you can at least try and pressure them off and don't just give it to them for free. I think they're kind of just giving these objectives and not getting vision on them, which is a worrying sign. If the game continues this way, yes, they have a lead, but if they don't get their objectives and don't push their lead properly, they're just going to fall behind.
I think I'd rather be Moggers at this point of the game rather than, unfortunately, KOA.
Yeah, well, Moggers, they're in a comfortable spot. They have 2 dragons stacking. They didn't get grubs, but they have, winning lanes. They have this Diana, Yasuo, Galio combo. They're looking around. They've started to hit spikes. Yasuo first item, Diana first item, Galio first item. That's when you start to get a little strong. So just waiting on this Yasuo item here.
They're just calling for objectives a lot better than the enemy team. Here we got a fight here on the Herald.
Yeah, big combo
We
used,
got
but
some
didn't
good
get the
trading.
kill. And now it's going to be a
Azir
4v3.
getting free poke.
Just free hitting on this backside.
I think the
Has to flash
ZR
out
came
from the
out a
Galio.
little bit late, but we end up winning that trade on the side of KOA. Hopefully that just translates into a free Herald.
Absolutely.
And it should, I think, yeah, we're already seeing a back from our Galio, and Zundel's just going to clear his Raptors, and I assume reset.
Yeah, and this is what I want. Look, the objective is spawning. We go there as 4. Yes, they're there. Yes, they are engaged, but we win the fight. We are 4. We are strong. And then we get the objective. This is what I want to see, especially going into these next, dragons and the Baron when it spawns, the Atacon. We just need to be there early and leverage our lead. I think I'm really worried if they can't continue to do this. But this is a good sign. It's a sign of something positive.
And we get good peel from Malphite. We get good peel from Nautilus, and decent engage from our Mad Lad here. So, I mean, we'll see how this plays out, right? This is still a very close game. I don't like having 2 drags on the side of Moggers here. Gets them a little bit closer, and it pushes us from scaling ourselves, right? After another 10 minutes, Moggers might just have Dragon Soul.
Hopefully not. That's a scary prospect. I really just... I think it's absolutely winnable for KOA. I just need them to get to their objectives faster.
I'm finally happy seeing Lost from Light trading into the Yasuo. And
as you should do, as this Malphite. Yeah, you have your Bramble, you have your Sunfire. You're going to be doing a lot of damage and not taking much in return. So I really think this is the right decision.
If he kills him 7 more times and leaves him be, right, he'll never reach that 0-10 power spike.
Hey, maybe they're playing late in this game, I suppose. So they're going for 0-10. Trading up on this top side. Lanes are still, just hanging out. There's not as many roams or mid-game played as 17 minutes. In the last game, we saw that Mogger was quite ahead, so they were able to play it quite aggressively, as that's the shuffle into tower range. But again, he can just walk it out. There's no consistent damage there. I think I like these shuffles, but Xin Zhao's on the top side. Call him up, wait for him to get there, and then as a 2-person, you have that shuffle, you have that knockout from the Xin Zhao, you have the ultimate to try and deal that extra damage. I think just straight ulting under tower with no real follow-up is not the smartest decision here.
I'm been waiting. Here we go. This is what I've been waiting for, is to see Lost from Light make a roam play, and he's gonna go back in the mid lane.
Yeah, with this Malphite ult, you really want to be making plays around the lane, especially to your side lanes, which is the Azir, or your fed bot lane, which is the Sivir.
It should be illegal for Caitlyn to exist in this game against
Yeah, as to Malphite, Xin Zhao, and Azir, you should just be consistently going and pressuring this lane. Ult comes out there from Tater Tot in the mid lane, but
here we go. We got a fight in the bot lane. Mad Lad's gonna go ahead and drop on one of them. They're gonna focus Leona. Caitlyn's gonna be it out. And there's not going to be any follow-up.
There was no follow-up there. There's no Nautilus ult that comes out, no Nautilus hook. The Flash and Ignite are still available. I think the ultimate coming out just to try and push Leona back, but...
Okay, we got a Malphite TP for the Drake Frike here. I think they're finally going to contest the Dragon. Azir TP.
Hopefully, but they need to go soon. This Dragon is just dropping, right? If they don't go in, they're just going to lose it again.
I'm waiting
TP
for the
comes out
Malphite
here
R.
from the Yasuo.
Oh, we whiffed the Malphite R, but we land a good Nautilus R. Azir getting great poke on the... Leona. Oh. Way to peel against that Yasuo. He couldn't get his R off. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and win that fight on the side of KOA. And get the drag. And pick up a kill on the Galio.
Yeah, that is huge for KOA.
They missed the Malphite R, but followed up really well with the Nautilus.
Yeah, I mean, that combo of them came in. The Diana ult into the Yasuo ult into the Galio ult. But the person they really need to kill, which is the Azir and the Sivir, were towards the back. They engaged toward that Malphite, toward the Xin Zhao, toward that Nautilus. They are not the priority targets, right? They don't deal as much damage as these 2 hyper carries in the backside.
And I guess what concerned me was why the Yasuo R. There's the Yasuo R. Can we get a 2v1 outplay here? Oh my lord.
Oh, and it just dashes through these minions, gets out. Well played.
He's clean with it. He's clean with it. Call him Faker.
Yeah, call him Faker the way he's 2-2, as Faker is known to be.
Yeah, with 165 CS at 20 minutes. You
Yep.
can't be throwing shade, man. Come on.
As we start this Otacon, question in chat, what's the current series score? This is the second game, and Mog has won the first one. I think Astora wants to claw it back in the second game here, but Mog is starting up the Otacon.
Are we really
Astora
just going
is
to give
late.
the Atacon?
Like, again, this is a consistent thing I'm seeing from Knights of Astora. They're just late to the objectives, and that's going to be a free Otacon over to the side of Mog.
This is an Atacon is not an objective to be slept on. I believe it gives you like 25 XP boost, and it like for the rest of the game, and then it gives you a general damage increase on the amount of petals you've collected.
I think there was a calculation done that it gives you around like 3k stats, like a team-wide 3k gold stats. So it's a big buff.
It's a brutal objective that just usually I feel like the team that gets Atacon is the team that wins. So we might see that here. I mean, got a good gold lead from KOA, but I wouldn't sleep on a potential Caitlyn just obliterating everyone once she gets online.
Yeah, well, that's the question: is when Malphite ult to get out of that gank, but when she gets online, like that Caitlyn ult did maybe 1/10 of that damage. This is not what you're looking for in someone you want to carry the game. You do have the Diana and the Yasuo there as your damage sources, so you can look towards them to do the damage in a team fight, but KOA is just really ahead here. Shutdowns on most, if not all, their carries.
You got a little bit of trash talk in the the chat. Blue, you got to take your team to the drawing board. A little rough.
Ooh. I think the draft is not bad for Blue. I mean, they are ahead, right? I think it's just the macro which need work, because that's what's,
I think
a real
you're
downside here.
You're on it 100%. You're right on target. It's the macro. It's utilizing your lead. It's attacking the bot lane whenever you have the strength in numbers, but also the strength in champions, right?
Yeah.
You got a Jinzhou, you got a Nautilus, you have a Malphite. Malphite can wave clear and bully out Yasuo at the same time and look to make a play in the bot lane, but he hasn't this whole game.
Yeah, I think it's like the Knights of Astora, they've made a sandwich, but they've forgotten the bread. Like they're getting ahead in lanes and they're using their gold leads, but they're not playing with them, right? Like they
For me, it's more like
around.
They made a sandwich and just didn't eat it. nice kill on the bot lane.
Oh, kill on the bot lane, gank from the jungler there on the side of Knights of Astora. Just expanding his gold lead.
Interesting. Under turret, I think Diana lives.
Diana does live that. Again.
But we get the follow-up from the KOA, Darren Chubuzo.
And Simmer's just going to walk him down here. Like, with this move speed, just going to run at him.
Way for Sexy Shawarma to trust in his ADC to be there, to come in and secure that kill on Yasuo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was nervous that he might get 1v1, but no.
No,
but
he's 4-0, 2 items. He's really strong in this ADC. But what are you doing, Nautilus? Look, I can understand confidence, but going in 1v2 versus a Caitlyn and a Leona is not the play at all. Like, you have to run
turret's
flashy
almost gone. This is one of the things I was talking about. Look, we lose 2 guys top lane for a kill against the Azir. We get the turret, and we respond. In response, we kill those 2, right? Oh, here we go. We got a fight in the bot side jungle.
Jungle has to flash.
Looks like we're going to flash and disengage.
This macro, like, you're going in for fights. Yes, you will win them if your team is there, but your team is not there. They are late to the fight, so you have to look at your minimap and, check out where your team is. I feel like they gotta, use this map awareness, because they've been fighting things and going to objectives, but they're just late on it. They're just late.
And Moggers just does a great job of the macro side of things, right? They might be behind in gold. We got an attack on Diana.
Diana ult comes off. She's really strong here. This Nautilus might go down, but Malphite ult over the wall is going to mean Diana is the one who falls. And that's... Hey, they are late to the objectives, but if you can just fight better, this is going to be a clean dragon take from the side of Knights of Astora.
I'm hoping we get something... anything here from Moggers while they take this drag. Maybe setting up for Baron Vision.
Yeah, they look like their solo lanes are hovering toward the spot side here, but there's nothing to take. There's no objectives down here, so I think you need to recall and push out your waves.
And I was trying my best to praise Moggers for getting that mid turret, right? Right after
trading that for the kill and top. Yeah.
Yeah, but here we're making some simple mistakes of just my team's not here, and we're
Oh,
gonna go in and die.
Disconnected.
a pause here for the mid laner on the opposite team. Last game we had the um, in-game name is Azir, but it would be Kiz for the side of Mog disconnected, and now this game we have Shore for the side of Knights of Storage disconnected.
I mean, what are your views in the current state of this game?
I think that Knights of Astora are in a strong position. They have a winning bot lane. You know, their Sivir is up in gold and XP and items. They have a really nice team fight setup with this Nautilus ult, this Malphite ult, and then the Zin's out to make space. So I think they should be winning in most team fights. I think what they got to be careful of, what they have to be careful of, is these side lanes, because I think that's where a lot of the bleeding is stemming from. You know, if they're not pushing the lanes in time, or if they're getting caught out by this Diana and Galio coming over, because remember that Galio ult, that's like half the map. So if you get engaged on a 2v2, that Galio can turn into a 3v2 quite quickly. I think they just have to play really hard around these objectives and make sure your waves are getting pushed, and then they can win it out.
I think that's a solid analysis of how this game needs to be played. I think in the current state where we're at right now, based off of the minimap, I think KOA has every means to, considering that every lane is shoved, has the means to go and get vision for Baron. But looks like Dark Shark is already getting that taken care of on the side of Moggers. So that's something I want to see more from is these guys is where is the vision prior to these objective fights? And it feels like it's usually never there. That everyone's showing up as soon as objectives coming up, right? Like KOA has the strength to force a Baron fight. They have double the amount of kills. They have like 7K more gold than them, right? So utilize your strength, force a fight for them to come into you, especially into you. They've won a lot of their fights when Diana goes into them.
Yeah, because they have
And
just so
it's
much peel, right? With this
yeah,
Zin's out ult to knock him back, Malphite all on top of Diana's head. Yeah, and then yes, you go in on the front line, but that's not the Sivir, that's not the Azir, and they can just hitting you with the back line. I think I
and I
agree
was
with what.
nervous about this comp on the side of KOA because I feel like a lot. If Diana's instant with it, if Leona's instant with it, if Galio's instant with it, if Yasuo is instant with their R's, with their synergy, it should be almost a team wipe up on Xin Zhao. Xin Zhao should die almost immediately. Nautilus should probably die immediately, and we could probably just ignore Malphite and focus on either Azir or Darian.
Yeah, well, once that ult comes out from Malphite, yes, you have, I think it is your E to reduce the attack speed of those around you, but you're not going to be doing much else that from to peel other than body blocking, essentially. So
Yeah,
yes, I do want to
everyone's
see
just gonna be
KOA take a
walking
fight.
past him.
But, I mean, you brought it up before with the Leona putting some deep vision into blue side jungle just because Baron is up, you know, they want to fight for it. KOA has been late consistently to most objectives, and that's a real thorn in my side. Like I can't in good conscience hope that KOA wins just because I feel like their setup for objectives has just been really bad this game and the series in general. That they're consistently late, so they just need to focus on backing as a team, moving out together, getting vision, and playing around these objectives before they spawn. You know, like you said, at 2 minutes to a minute before they spawn, you need to be out on the map getting vision. And I feel like they've just been late on that, which has allowed Mog to fight back in this game, even though it was hard winning for Knights of the Store early.
Yeah, and like I said, we're hoping that they would shut them down early, based off of the early draft analysis of the strength that they have in their laning phase. But right now, and they kind of have done it, but right now it's a little bit iffy. Like it's still possible for Moggers to come back and play well and win it from here. And if they win it, of course, it'll be the end of this series, and they'll go on with a perfect record to start off the playoffs.
Yeah, and that would be super exciting. I think we
Not for
might be.
me.
Well, yes, the downside of winning a game means that, you know, someone else has lost a game, and if you don't want someone to win and they do, it's not much you can do. But that does mean
Come on, KOA.
you'll be so free to cast or watch any of the streams that are going to be happening for these final games. So maybe there's an upside to losing, you know? Maybe there's an upside to not getting in the finals. Is now you can watch it, from an outside perspective and just enjoy League of Legends.
Yeah, definitely. I enjoy
or
like
not.
here's the thing. I don't know. I 100% enjoy watching these games. It's why I'm here. I'm not here to, scout out these guys. We already had our own plans to deal with Moggers, right?
Hmm.
And our champ pools are fairly different. Like, we don't really like we have Comey can play Sivir, but do we play Sivir? Not really, right? It's for us. It's kind of like like a good crown pick to Caitlyn, but right, I feel like these guys do play a decent variety of champs, and it's relatively different from our own team. So it's not like I'm watching this and be like, oh, this worked really well against so and so. We should do this, right? No, I'm watching this because I'm like, oh crap, freaking Galio with the massive ult. Oh man, 5-man ult from the Malphite. I'm enjoying it, right?
Yeah.
I'm here to enjoy it. I'm here to hopefully the those of you watching are enjoying it, and make a few funny jokes every now and then if you think they're funny to kind of make you guys happy, laugh, and to enjoy this content, right? I do enjoy getting into the caster booth and spewing my nonsense, but
Hey, just having a good
it's
old
fun.
yap session here.
Yeah,
Happy to do it.
exactly. We're over here keeping this this tournament this specific series alive because we're at 23 minutes right now on that pause timer. You didn't even know it, right? Because we've just been talking that much.
I think we are in for a bit of an extended pause. I think some players are not going to be back for a little bit. There was, from my knowledge, some sort of religious significance today, so some of our players may have to take a break for that. But we should be underway as soon as everyone is ready. In other news, read any good books?
Oh, good books.
Read any good books? Watch any good series lately? Just pass the
Um,
time.
yeah, I've been reading a book called The Catechetical Homilies of Saint Cyril. It's very enjoyable.
Oh, that's
A
a
lot of
mouthful.
a lot of beautiful lessons to be learned there from ancient people of the faith. So who did good works in their time. So it's beautiful to hear their struggles and just. It looks like the game's going to go ahead and get started, but
Fair
I
enough.
think it's
Well,
an enjoyable book.
all right, we will get back to that book at a later date as we now resume this play.
Let me tell you all about it. Oh man.
All right, okay, we're back in. Let's remember this game state. The Baron is up. We have the advantage here for the Knights of Astora. There's 2 Drakes apiece, but a 7k gold lead for the Knights of Astora. We'll see who can pull ahead here. I really hope the Knights of Astora can get this second game and bring us to a 3-game series, but
Did Nautilus use Hook there to get vision?
I'm not too sure. I think he's just trying to hook in and get these wards down a little faster. Yes,
Okay,
there's wards on either side, but you need to remember, they're doing the same thing. There's going to be wards on your side. You need to start clearing out these wards around your side of the jungle. I think that's important to do.
Oh, and he's gonna go ahead and reset on vision.
Reset on vision. There's wards all along this top side here. Sweeper
What
is
is the
up.
reset
Control
for?
ward is up. Like, you need to start putting these things down to deny vision.
He got a component. See,
Absolutely.
if we see that reset on vision, we should be posturing to now take space. Whoa!
Whoa!
And a flash from Leona.
Flash away, just scared of the Xin Zhao engage. That was, yeah, really quick on the draw. Doesn't want to get caught out and potentially lose a Baron fight, I think. Some trading here in the bot lane. It is a Malphite, though, so able to walk away.
Yeah,
And
he
blue
took
side
very
has
little
prio
damage.
around this Baron. Like, they're able to come in and retake the vision. Hopefully they can make
I think
something
that
of
was
it
a
here.
big mistake on the side of Moggers. I think they could have taken their vision. I think they could have kept pushing up and causing pressure against them. And whoever was there, maybe catch a pick. Because Leona was there and ready to grab someone, but their team wasn't.
Yeah, and I mean, even flashing away, I think flashing away is extreme, because yes, this is Xin Zhao, but if he goes on top of you, you can stun, walk away, and then your team follows up, right? Like, I think flashing there is just really the wrong play, because now it means that you can't flash engage on any of the champs, right? You have your Leona ult, yes, at some range, but you can't flash E, you can't flash Q. It's just going to be a lot harder to start a fight here.
And Xin Zhao can't just keep chasing you, right? With the 3-second cooldown on your stun, you're just going to keep stunning him and walking away. Like, I don't know. It's okay. We'll leave it alone. Getting good pressure on top side. Azir getting a decent shove in.
Just catching waves here
Malphite
from
and
Mog, yeah.
Galio. doing tanky things, just punching each other and doing no damage.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
just
god.
two trees, you know, trying to outlast the other.
Two rocks. They're
Two
actually, yeah,
rocks.
Galio is a rock and so is
Yeah, you
Malphite.
could consider Galio a rock. I agree. He's like a statue,
Yeah,
but statues can be made
yeah.
from rocks. So
He's like some weird magical
isn't he
statue
like
guy.
marble or something? Isn't marble a type of rock? So there you go. Two
Well,
rocks fighting in the bot lane.
he's some sort of magical property stone, right? That negates magic. Like that's his whole,
That's his whole
I think,
shtick.
character lore. Yeah,
Interesting.
that's why like he's a big problem for Silas in like the lore.
In the lore, so he just takes away the
Yeah,
power.
it's a
Luckily,
magic statue.
no Silas in this game. Don't even have to worry about it. It's already taken away in game one.
There is an Azir.
That is true. Now, what is a rock to the Emperor of Shurima?
A big rock.
That
The size
is
of
that is
mountains.
true. Unfortunately,
He's the size of mountains.
unfortunately, Azir has been ignoring it.
Oh, here we
comes
go.
out here from both sides. Flash,
Oh, and the
and that's
flash.
just going to be
Oh.
no
Oh,
kill.
but the
Able to dash
minions-
out, but I mean the minion wave is here.
Oh. Okay.
Stopwatch comes out.
Turret.
Diana picks up that kill. Windwall blocks the Nautilus hook, but it's a three people here. Oh,
This could
for
go
both
either way
sides.
for this team. Here it looks like Shurima's turret's gonna deal some damage, and they're gonna go ahead and clean up on Malphite. And 100%, I hope they go and grab Baron.
This should be a free Baron angle. Diana's dead. Nautilus has to reset because of low health, but this should just be a free Baron angle right now. I think Caitlyn and Galio, I don't think they can contest this, especially if they try and engage onto them, just because they don't have as much peel as is necessary. Yeah, look at that Xin Zhao. Just gets on, chunks Caitlyn at half health, flashes, and that should be a kill for both.
Yeah, and that should still be a Baron.
Yeah, Ace and Baron. I think they just need to reset catch waves, because I don't think that's a winning fight. But obviously they thought it was. Didn't work out. I have to see how they play it differently next time.
I think the big issue with this comp is if the Yasuo dies, because he does a big chunk of their damage, and Caitlyn's not there, they're gonna lose almost every fight.
Yeah, as soon as this top side dies, this Yasuo Diana, their bot lane doesn't have the damage to continue that fight, right? Like, the Galio is very tanky. He's not doing a bunch of damage. This Caitlyn has been put behind, doesn't have the lead that you need on a Caitlyn in order to carry. So I think that any fight you take where the Diana and the Yasuo aren't there is just a losing fight. That being said,
Looks like
even
they're
though
gonna
do
try
take
to
the
burn
Baron,
drag.
Moggers is just first and subjective.
And
Taking
it
an
looks like he's
engage
gonna put
onto
pressure on the
Xin
Xin
Zhao.
Zhao.
Ult comes out to
Ult away.
poke him away. Diana ult
Diana
comes
with
back
her
in.
ultimate. But no
Alpha ult
synergy
comes out.
between the Yasuo and the Diana because he already used R.
Oh, Shurima shuffle onto 2, and that should be both of them going down.
Galley with the flash away, but he's too late. Xin Zhao collapses on him. Malphite with the flash Q!
Oh, wow,
E!
what a play from
Auto
Malphite.
W! Oh my lord.
This is what I was worried
And now
about.
they're just gonna
In the
siege.
first game, Mad Lad was put behind, and that kind of caused the breakdown of the team. You know, there's no one to bring the team together, but now Mad Lad is ahead. And look at how they're playing through their lanes. You know, they're protecting the Sivir, they're finding these engages with the Malphite, with the Nautilus, and the Azir ultimate.
And
They're
with
playing
the
it really well.
12.5K
This might just be an end
gold
here. There's
lead.
only 2 up. Caitlyn,
I
yes,
think
can
it
wave
should
here
just
with
go ahead
you,
and be an
but
end.
oh, if you Ian like that on the Ona, that's just going to be the end of the game there, 100%. And that's going to
gonna
be Knights of
one
Stora
for
winning
one.
game 2, bringing us 1-1 and a game 3.
I think they did everything that they needed to do. I think your analysis from the early game draft was spot on. I was hoping that with their draft, right, that they would have these beautiful engages, that they would collapse on with Diana, collapse on with Galio Leona, follow up with nasty attacks with the Yasuo, and Caitlyn just free shooting in the back line. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. The laning phase was just too much for them, and KOA took over. It's anyone's fight here on this next game.
Next and final game, yeah. We've seen strong performances on both sides. We saw bot lane get ahead from Mog during the first game. We saw bot lane get ahead for Knights of Astora during the second game. Both jungles have been carries and put behind in these games. It's all up to the third game to see which side can really make it work. I would like to see some more action on this mid lane, because I feel like this mid lane has been a bit passive in both of these series. Yes, the Gangplank came out and you got ahead, but I think if you can play 2 utility champions for your team, like this Galio did, and play well around that with the jungles, I think that's how you're going to win the game.
Yeah, 100%. You're just gonna take over. But I think I think unfortunately our KOA mid laner and just top laner are just a little bit too static at times. I feel like they just need to do a little bit more when it comes to roams, a little bit more when it comes to map pressure. I just feel like it's not there when it needs to be,
Yeah,
right? And I do think
I can
I feel
absolutely
like
understand that. Yeah.
somebody needs to make that call and say this is what we need to be doing. Like I am the team captain of my and the coach and the captain of my team, but I'm not the one playing the game. And I haven't said it necessarily to my team, but what I have said was, and I've asked them, who's the most vocal on your team? Who's vocal? And they'll tell me, oh, so and so is, so and so is. I said, okay, they are confident with the plays. They're confident in what they want the team to do. Go ahead and listen to them, even if it's a crappy ass play. Sorry, we're on stream. I'm so
No,
sorry. Even if it's
you're
a
absolutely fine.
even if it's a crappy play, listen to them because you're working cohesively with one another. You're working together to establish and make something happen. It's better to be on the same page on a crappy play than it is to be on no page at all, doing whatever y'all feel like, hoping to maybe get a pick. Like it can't be like that. And maybe that's not there with some of these teams and it's like get a voice, establish a voice. If you feel like there's no voice in your team, be that voice and make the decisions and make the plays so that at least your team can come up with a plan and establish what they're going to do and then do it for the rest of the game and then make adjustments when needed, right? Or yeah, I just feel like it's not done frequently enough because like I said, I'm not the one playing the games. I'm not the one playing top lane or mid or jungle support or ADC. That's not me. I'm the one who's VOD reviewing with these guys, working on matchups with these guys. I'm the
Yeah,
one
it's always the
who
VOD review. Yep.
it's the VOD review. It's all you can do, right? And just tell them, be confident and build them up and say, hey, be confident with your play. Make these call outs, make these roams, make these adjustments. And
Yeah,
you're gonna see these guys just excel. And again,
absolutely.
I'm blessed to have the team in which I do. I love them to death. But like I said, like I established that day one with these guys was be vocal, support one another, talk in game, right? Even challenge each other sometimes with the play. And we'll VOD review and I'll be like, what happened here? And they'll be like, well, we weren't really talking. Okay. That's exactly why we lost, because we're not talking. So I don't know. There's times when I see in these matches where I just feel like people aren't they're not doing what they're supposed to, and it feels like maybe there's just a lack of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important to be on the same page, even if it's a bad call, just because then you can play together, play as a team, and if you're playing as a team, you will beat most teams that aren't. Because if you're splitting your calls, so you're focused on different targets, you're just not going to have the same synergy that you will with a team that's playing together.
Yeah, 100%.
I
We'll see
think,
how this next game plays out.
yeah, absolutely. I think that it's going to be, at least from my perspective, it's going to come down to jungle bot. I think that's been the difference maker for all of these games. Yes, the solo lanes
100%.
have gone back and forth. You know, they've been winning, they've been losing, getting shutdowns, coming back, and losing those shutdowns, and et cetera, et cetera. But I think playing around these jungle and bot lanes, remember, both jungles have path top to bot in both games. So that's both sides, both games, all pathing top to bot, because I think they know as well as I do, these bot laners have been getting ahead, and if they can get ahead, they can carry. So I really think playing it out is going to be the way to go. That being said, we're hopping into the draft of our third game. All right, Lilia Band coming out for blue side, followed by Thresh Band from red side, and the Gwen again on blue side. Jax on red side. Just we're rushing through these bands. I guess after a couple of games, you get them figured out. It's going to be a lot of jungle bands for the side of KOA, and a lot of comfort picks for the side of Mog being banned.
I think the Sejuani ban is interesting considering that KOA, one of their guys, I believe Mad Lad plays Sejuani, doesn't he? Maybe he doesn't. No, I guess he
Not a lot
doesn't.
of
I'm
Sejuani.
sorry.
He plays some Skarner, some Volibear. So I'm expecting to see a Volibear ban here by Mog. If they give it over, I think that's a real mistake just because of how strong Mad Lad is.
And I think that's
Ari
what they're
ban.
thinking on right
Yeah,
now.
look at that. Volibear coming out just because Mad Lad has carried games in Volibear. If you don't ban it out, especially game 3, it's super comfort, super carry. You need to play that way.
Go ahead, and we're picking the jungler again. All right. So that gives jungle the opportunity to counterpick or potentially start building a draft that's going to be anti-engaged because Volibear is going to be looking to run at people, looking to grab a hold of them with his R, with his Q. So we'll see what they decide to draft up. But I know I would already be creating like control mages for my mid lane. A
Nunu,
Nunu
a
Willump.
Nunu play. Now, I have to say, look at these champs. They have pinched Zundal's pool. Kane's been played, Lilia's been played, Amumu's been played, Xin Zhao's been played, Gwen and Sejuani both have been banned. Or Lilia's been banned, apologies, not played. Nunu is pulled out here. Zundal has one match in the LEPL as Nunu, and it did not go well. So I'm worried
Nunu
about
Smolder.
how this is going to
Um,
go here.
Nunu has the ability to peel with his ultimate, with his knock up, which I believe is his Q. Jinx, I think Jinx can work into Smolder early, poke him out. I'm hoping we see a very aggressive bot lane to try and shut down Smolder.
Agreed. I think the Jinx into Smolder is decent. You know, Jinx has that
Yeah,
range, can really pop off in teamfights a little more after that one reset. Remember, you get a whole bunch of attack speed and move speed, and I think it's really important for these LEPL games just because there's so much fighting going on, so Jinx can get these resets quite frequently.
and if we get an extended fight in the bot lane, I believe Jinx should take over. I think the fact that mid lane is getting Rise against the Nunu is already unfortunate. I would have loved to send Rise against Volibear.
Yeah, I think Rise into
Hopefully,
Volibear is decent. I don't know if I like this Rise here, just because you have this Jinx, which you're going to get resets for. You have this Volibear. Yes, Rise can provide damage, but now we just need a lot of utility here for KOA. So if they get the utility banned away now in the second round of bans, things will be really
Cassiopeia.
bad. Cassiopeia,
I think
that's
I
a
think that's a
counter
decent
into
pick.
Rise. I think it's a decent pick, yeah.
I think that's a decent pick, especially with the Volibear, because Volibear is just gonna have to run at her. So it should be a little bit more predictable and allow Smolder to get some good poke and eventually just if he's scaling, just absolutely destroy the enemy team.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's definitely things that they have on each side that they can do, right? Nunu Willem can play around his R, right? Supporting his team if the enemy comes into a bush that they haven't warded. Wow, we got a lot of bans here really fast. Emilio ban, Nami ban, Blitzcrank, and Ambessa.
Yes, we see that peel coming out on the side of KOA just to stop them from, peeling for this Smolder, peeling for this Cassio. And Bessa, Blitz coming in for the side of Mog. I can see how the Blitz would be useful, especially pulling in that Smolder, pulling in that Nunu, you know? But then
Even
again,
pulling
you're
in the
pulling in a
enemy,
Nunu, you're pulling in a Cassio, and they want to be on top of you, right?
potentially. If they get deleted too early, then it's just brutal. Like Cass, okay, we know our Blitzcrank's pulling her. He's gonna knock her up immediately. She might not even be able to get all off.
That's fair. I guess seeing the Lulu pick come through, that makes more sense now that Blitz was banned. If you're playing Lulu and the Blitz is open, or like other hook champs, if, Thresh was open into Lulu, you're not going to have a good time. Then they're just going to try and search for like something, a hook champ or a root champ. There's the Morgana coming in for KOA. And the Ornn. This is what I like to see. As mentioning it before, they need more utility. Morgana with the ultimate, with the root. Ornn with that big teamfight ultimate. I really like the comp from KOA so far. Let's see how
I think
Mog
they
rounds
have
it
all the
out.
damage they need and all the peel that they need.
Yeah, looking at the draft again from the side of Mog, Smolder Lulu. How do you feel about that?
Smolder Lulu. I think I feel fine. It doesn't pair up as well as somebody who's like high attack speed champ in the bot lane, right? Because Smolder's a lot based off of his Q and his abilities in general, doing
Yeah,
damage for him. And his auto attack is just, there to kind of mix in. He's a lot like Ezreal, right? A lot like Zeri, where he's ability based rather than his regular auto attacks doing all that damage. I think the Zed pick is a little bit wild. I think they have a lot to shut down a Zed. They have or an R, they have Morgana Root. They have Rise Root, they have Jinx Root, they have Volibear Stun. And Volibear Stun's going to be the big thing, I think, if Zed ever tries to go in, and with Morgana Q.
I think
So I think
if
Zed's a
Zed
dangerous
ults,
pick.
Morgana just ults in response, and then you're slowed. If you stay in that ult, you're gonna get stunned, so you have to disengage.
He
I
he has to get fed enough to where he just obliterates Jinx or Rise so fast that he can immediately just teleport away to one of his clones.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Zed is looking for the Jinx or the Morgana because Orange's gonna build tanky, Volibear's gonna build tanky, Rise is a very tanky build with that Rod of Ages into I believe it is the it's one of the tier items. I can never remember, but it's the one that gives you a shield. So he's gonna be super tanky there. I don't like this Lulu Smolder. I think that
Seraph's Embrace, yeah.
Sarah's Embrace. Yes, thank you. But yeah, Lulu Smolder, as I mentioned to you before, I don't like it. I think it's really bad. I think that the benefit that Lulu brings if you're not auto attacking is just going to be the peel. You know, that polymorph, that shield on your allies, and that big ultimate to save you. Who
I
are you
think they might have a
polymorphing on
little
this
bit of,
team? I guess you're polymorphing the Volibear, but then the Rise and Ornn are already on top of you. If you are
yeah.
ulting someone, you know, to knock them up, it's more health. Sure, but then, you know, Jinx is still doing damage. It's not going to stop the Jinx. It's not going to stop the Volibear getting on top of you. It's not going to stop the Rise. I would have preferred to see something like a Karma, something like even a Rakan. I know that Dark Shark plays Bard. I think Bard would have paired really well here with this Cassio, with this Smolder, because you Bard ult them, and then Cassio Smolder have time to set up. You know, they call down the ult, they put down the Miasma, and they can play it a lot easier than with this Lulu here.
I think team fighting Lulu is going to be great, but I think laning phase they might have a little bit of trouble against Morgana Jinx,
Absolutely.
especially if one of them gets hit with Morgana root. Jinx is going to hit for free. May not even be in range of either of those champs to get traded back with her rocket. So we'll see how it goes. And then there's definitely potential for them to get Tower Dove, though it's hard, right, with Lulu's polymorph. But it's definitely there.
It's
It's
definitely
dangerous.
doable, especially with Volibear. You know, you ult onto tower. What are they going to do, right? So I think
Oh, so you know what? This is cast top, right?
now that you mention it, yes,
This is cast top into
I
Ornn,
don't
which
like that.
is yeah, I don't either. I think Ornn should just be able to farm for free. Like he'll get poked out like early, really, really early, like levels 1 through 3. But he just builds and I love that item. I'm trying to for some reason I can't remember it off the tip of my tongue.
What does it
But
do?
it's an anti-magic item that gives you a shield, and it's
Oh,
just
yes, I do know. I know
brutal.
exactly what you're talking about. But again, no idea the
Uh
item.
something why can't I remember? Oh my
Let
god.
me pull up my handy dandy list of items here. Let's see if I can find it.
Uh
It's the one that gives you a magic shield, isn't it?
yeah, magic
Is it Kanik
resistance.
Rooker?
A Canic Rookern. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, like Ornn building that item, Lulu will have no damage. Amumu will have no damage. Cass will have no damage. He'll be able to farm for free. He'll be able to get every free trade he wants as soon as he gets Canic Rookern up and active. And it's just gonna be so hard for Cass to do anything. The only advantage she has against him is his E and R if she lands her pool, right? If she lands her little pool of like
Yeah, the
weird
miasma.
spit, the
If you land that
miasma.
down and then he can't, you know, dash the recast of the ults, you know, if you can't dash around as this Volibear, it's gonna be quite hard.
Yeah,
But I think
but
you
you mean
I
Ornn?
imagine you're picking Cassio into Rise as that counter. But if then you switch lanes immediately, where's the you're picking it into a matchup that you're not supposed to pick it into, or maybe not
And I
supposed to, but I
think
think it's weaker than the other matchup.
and if I was Zed, I wouldn't want to play into Ornn either, just because he's a tank. And like early game, I might be able to chunk Ornn out, but as soon as he gets like freaking Chain Vest, you're gonna have a hard time damaging him.
Absolutely.
Oh, I didn't get the invite for the spectator on this one.
Oh no.
Y'all abandoned me.
Unfortunately, we did. I
They were
will.
they were tired of me talking. They're like, we're done with this guy.
I'll stream it
We
here
don't want
for
to hear
you.
what he has to. Yeah, I'm
Hopefully, you're
watching.
able
I'm
to
watching.
hear that.
We'll be more on the same page because we're not watching our own things. We'll be on the same page.
That's
Where's
what
the
they
pin
say. That's what
though?
they say. Well, we'll see if it's in reality. Well, actually, hold on. We have the Cassio onto Kiz, who is the mid lane player, and Zed onto Tater Tot, who has been going top lane this entire time. So maybe they pick Zed into Ornn. Although I don't see that matchup as being good. But maybe
I
they just
don't
play
like
it
that.
for
Yeah,
mid game. I don't know. It's a strange draft, especially with this Nunu, right? Because with Nunu, you'd like to have some CC in a lane. I guess the Cassio Miasma would make sense, but you have no guaranteed CC across any of these lanes. So you're just going to be really reliant on this ball getting rolling and into lane. But if Morgana, has Black Shield, if she hits a root on you, if Ornn puts up a pillar, if Volibear walks away, it's I don't like the comp for Mog right now. Maybe they can pull it
I
off. Maybe
def
they can just hands gap. But I really prefer the draft of KOA.
I definitely prefer, yeah, KOA's draft. I think they have a better general synergy, and I think should be able to execute pretty well.
So we get into game here. This is the third game of the series. It is 1-1 for Knights of Astora versus Moggers, the final.
Predictions.
Yeah, any predictions in the chat? We don't have the predictions available to do in chat at the moment, but just type them in chat, and if you're right, we will call you out for it. So it does look like this Cassio is opening topside, which I guess makes sense with
See,
the
I
Zed
felt
into
it. I'm
Rise.
the top lane main. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a strange draft from Mog, so let's see if they can make it work here. Just a 5-stack across both lanes. We saw it yesterday in one game where there was, a 5-stack towards that bot side and then a late invade towards the bot side jungle on the opposite side. I am getting tired of seeing all these 5-stacks. Yes, I know coaches who are listening, it is optimal just because then your teammates aren't, or your players aren't getting caught out. But it's not as exciting. Like, come on. Make it exciting here. We have some vision going down onto the top side of blue, just to spot out where their jungler is starting. But the same
Is
thing
Lost from
onto
Light
the
just
Raptors.
kind of, was he frozen there? Like he kind of just let that vision go down.
Yeah, I mean, no sweeper, I guess, but still.
At least throw a Q, punish something.
Yeah,
It's
he was
okay.
just watching. He wanted to, stay there in stealth. I think this
Never
this
let
lane
your
in the bot lane, it should go in favor of Knights of Astora. This top lane, I don't know the matchup, so I can't say. And then the mid lane should be Zed favored early, but we'll see if
I
they can
do
pull it
like what
off.
I'm seeing on the side of Moggers. They're trying their best to get some prio in the lane, and I think Jinx realizes that.
Yeah, I mean, with this Morgana poke coming down, it's not a lot, but with the Comet, it does hurt in these early levels. Nico Lama in chat saying, don't see how red wins this unless blue has no hands. I agree. I think it's a big draft gap, but we will see if these players can hand stiff him.
But if Red's hands are too good, then this might be brutal.
Yeah, hey, if Red's hands are too good and they win with his draft, hats off to them. That is impressive.
Whoa.
Oh,
Okay,
hits there, and we're still fighting the mid lane. Caught on
I
the
felt
trap,
like
has
Garen
to
was a little
barrier,
bit
has to
late
flash away as
to
well. Super
attack
winning here
the
for Knights of
Smolder.
Astora. That's
It
both
was a
sums
good
burned.
trade, but
Well, I think
okay.
this is great. It's both sums burned and the jungler is pathing down. So, this is setting up a huge gank here. On the top side, though, yeah, or
Lost
not
from Light
doing
needs
well
to
into
be
Cassio,
more-
and then mid lane, a little even, but Zed getting the better end of the trades here.
Or needs to be a little bit more respectful of that cast. I believe it's her Q she puts on the ground.
Yeah, to poison.
That gives
Yeah.
her that's all of her damage right there. And if she lands it, you have to walk away. You gotta respect her.
Yep, I think as Ornn, you should just be catching waves under tower right now. Like, you're not... There's no kill threat. Oh, mid lane has first move here, so it might be Mad Lad going down first with the Nunu. Just able to walk it out here for both sides.
He's definitely in a bad spot. We see Nunu making a roam, looking for the gank in the
Oh,
bot
but
lane.
Like
and
I was talking about, that Morgana
coming
Q, it just
through.
shuts down any engage they have on the side of Mog.
But you know what? I think Mog's gonna enjoy this if their lane remains static and they can't manage to get a lead against Mog in the bot lane. Smolder could potentially take over.
This is true, but I still think that Jinx is just so strong. Unless Smolder has, you know, tons of stacks and is able to poke from range. But where's the peel for your Smolder? You have a Lulu. That's really the only peel you have. Everyone else wants to go in with this Cassio, with this Zed, and the Nunu. I think that KOA is just so happy to play at range with this Jinx. Oh, potential solo kill in the mid lane here. Shore is quite low. Volibear catching the Nunu in the mid river. Just some poke damage down. Some nice damage here in the mid lane from the Zed, but not able to turn it into a kill. Has flash. I might have flashed for that kill just to deny the wave for him. Because now he's able to TP back and collect most of it.
Yeah, see, like his movement's just too predictable. He keeps getting hit by that poison.
Yeah, and remember, Cassio passive doesn't need to buy boots and gets it for free for level, so just going to have so much advantage over move speed in these early levels without any boots on to...
Oh, but that's going to be a kill in the top lane. First blood going
stun
to Ornn.
for the Volibear into the knockup.
And
well played.
that can't be allowed to happen as a cast against an Ornn. Ornn's going to just build Negatron Cloak. I'm hoping here, and I think we'll just take over. He's going to go Ruby Crystal with
some pots. I like the pots just to survive.
I think
in
that's
lane,
fine. Yeah,
because all you want to do is survive laning phase and then provide that utility ult in your team fight. Like that's all you want to do, and you've already survived most of laning phase. You got a gank and a kill, so I think you're feeling really good here, Zorn.
I think they should just be about even when it comes to gold.
Oh, root hits. Lots of damage down onto
Follow
Preston.
up, another root.
Root hits.
I
Exhaust
wish we were
out.
switching to our minigun, but we switched a little bit too late and switched back to our rocket just to get a little bit of damage. I felt like that could have been a kill there. But the minigun
flash up and no flash or Smolder, so definitely could flash under tower, but then you're flashing into the Lulu, right? So maybe not the best idea.
It's just the rockets for me. Like, rockets aren't Jinx's damage. People don't understand that. It's her minigun because it's so quick, it's so fast. That's what she kills people with. Rockets is what she secures kills with, right? They're just too slow in the early game. They're good for poke. They're good for dealing some damage. But it's your minigun with its passive. When you get your 3 shots off, then you're shooting fast. That's your consistent DPS.
Flash ult by the Zed onto this Rise. Rise is going to go down.
And a kill.
That's just, yeah, simple. Well played by the Rise.
The massive CS diff in the top lane. That kill may not matter.
That, yeah, stacking up here would be almost 25 CS ahead. TB coming out from the Zed. And hey, guess between these two teams, who is late to the objective? It's a consistent thing. Like, Mog could be 15 kills down and still be to the objective faster. I don't know what to say.
So now we're just roasting the teams, huh?
I think this is something that's really important to notice, is you are winning early. You should be at least contesting these objectives, if not fighting for them. But you're not. You're just giving them. Maybe I'm just
accurate.
I've gotten too upset by all these objectives going over when they shouldn't be, but again, LEPL teams, anything can happen, so I should be more understanding.
Ornn has ult
coming out in the top side.
Volibear
is here.
Volibear is gonna collapse.
Ult comes out from that Cassio, doesn't even matter. Volibear just secures it. We have Zed roaming down the mid lane and looking towards his bot side. Oh, and that's Shawarma. Flashes, but just gets picked up by the Zed. I think this volley is getting ahead this game, and I think it's really important. However, the Zed, like you mentioned, starting to snowball here. If the Zed gets ahead and shuts down this Jinx and this Rise before they can get super tank, you're ahead. It's going to be really bad for him.
A fed Zed can even shut down a tank early on. If he really gets that far ahead, it won't matter. He'll have all the armor pen he needs and the lethality, and he'll just say, hey, I don't care if you're a tank, I'm going to one-shot you anyways. So
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Volibear doesn't build a whole lot of tank early. He builds some health, but he's going usually for that Flicker Blades. I think that's... Is that what they call
Nabori
it?
Flicker Blades.
Yeah, Flicker Blades, as well as the other item. Terrible with item names you can imagine. But
I thought he built Rod of Ages, Navori, Flicker Blades, and then Spirit Visage was his like typical build.
there's a different one. It's the one that gives you move speed when you deal magic damage.
Oh, Cosmic Insight.
Cosmic Drive. Cosmic Drive.
Cosmic Drive. Cosmic Insight. We're the
The
worst
runes.
casters. We're so sorry, everyone.
But yes, Cosmic Drive, I think Cosmic Drive into Flicker Blades is a common build on a Volibear. But it doesn't give you a lot of armor. It gives you some health, but that's about it. So I think if Zed can get this snowball rolling early, like the Nunu is onto this Morgana, Blank Shield comes out and is
Shield.
It's the no.
If I was that Morgana, would have thrown out that root, dropped the E, still got hit with the snowball. Wouldn't even have even brought out my spell shield.
I mean, that is the benefit of Morgana here into just the Nunu, is you know exactly what you're saving the Black Shield for, right?
Yeah. I think our Azir, right, our current top laner in this game, I think he's shown enough to be someone to play for. I feel like Nunu probably has a better chance ganking Ornn whenever he's out of position and trying to gank this bot lane.
Yeah, Zed goes in, has ult up still, ult's on. This might just be a kill onto the Rise here. Yeah, Nunu in there to secure it.
100%.
Oh, this Zed is getting scary.
3-0, 10 minutes in. That's never good. If I was Ornn, I would have.
Oh, and the ult
It doesn't
comes out.
even matter though. He's so tanky.
Yeah, that is just
Oh, looks
two
like
ults
he's-
being used, but you're just scaling this one, right? That's all you care about. You don't need to take these fights. Volley coming
Nah.
in. Ooh,
I would be,
Black Shield's a little late onto that volley to avoid the
Polymorph.
polymorph. And I think, yeah, good gank towards the top
Ornn
side.
gets out.
I think, like they said in chat, red wins unless blue has hands, and it turns out blue does have hands. This mid laner is showing their strength 3-0 at 11 minutes.
I was hoping to see Kanik Rooken from the Ornn in the top lane, but it looks like he's just going to go Hollow Radiance. Maybe he just wants the wave clear, but personally I prefer the Kanik Rooken into
Cassio?
Cassiopeia and a Nunu top, yeah.
Yeah, I do agree there. Maybe it's just he thinks that because they both provide magic resist, it's just worth it. Ult comes out here for both the Smolder and the Morgana. Not going to matter. Lulu ult keeps that Smolder
I think he just wants
healthy
the
enough.
damage in the clear.
Oh, that's going to reset for Jinx.
No mana on the side of Smolder.
I love
She
those
should just-
pings coming out. Sometimes people will overextend.
Oh, Zed over here collapsing.
Might not even matter, though.
Oh,
Picks up the Morgana kill. Jinx gets out so far. We'll see if Zed's able to wrap around behind and catch her out.
Zed's 4-0. This is looking dangerous. He already has item.
Yeah, this is a scary Zed. They need to find a way to lock this down right now, otherwise the game's going to spiral out of control for him.
Honestly, it should have been Rise just being able to wave clear and punish Zed, and Zed having to stay under turret. But Rise hasn't been able to wave clear properly, and Zed's been able to maintain a CS lead and a 4-kill lead.
And he's getting great roam timers. Like, with this Rise ult, you want to be looking for plays around the map, but Zed's just been beating you to these plays. And I think it's coming in again, you know, like, just late to objectives. You're late to roams, late to plays. I have been going on and on about this. I think KOA plays really well as a team, but it's just this macro which needs a little bit of a cleanup. Oh, and was grounded. Couldn't dash, but I don't think it's going to matter. This volley coming out here. Should be able to secure the kill.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
But then again, giving up objectives. Really well played from Moggers here. A little late on the root, but nice Black Shield there to prevent any more of the passive damage coming out.
If Ornn and Volibear just continue
Oh,
like
and
this-
that's a steal from the Jinx!
Oh my lord.
What? Well, that's... Nunu, as a jungler, is notoriously hard to steal camps away from, especially any objectives, just because his Q is true damage combined with a smite. It's almost impossible to match. But that Jinx ult just caught them completely unaware. No smite came out, no Q came out. Just takes it away, and that buys a whole lot of time for Knights of Asura to scale. Like, yes, this Zed is ahead, but if Rise scales up, if Jinx scales up, it's not going to matter that the Rise is ahead. You know, there's exhaust on the Morgana for this Zed.
I've said ahead.
Yeah, I apologize, but yes.
No, you're good. I think everything's on Zed's shoulders here. I think he needs to be the difference for his team, and just really shut everyone down. But
Yeah, Nunu coming in here.
and another
Might go-
gank top lane.
Oh, wasn't soon enough. That, yeah, Snowball not doing much. Flashes to get out. Ult comes in from the Volley Bear, but isn't able to get anything. And yeah, this Zed is trying to look for plays, but Knights of Store is just winning everything across the board. I think that feels, you know, it's the mental diff you have to realize here, is how does it feel to, flash trade for flash, trying to get in, Black Shield comes out, the Volibear's running at this Nunu, but I don't think they're going to dive anything here. Just don't have the ult to try and negate that tower. First tower going over to Ornn in the top lane.
Which is crazy to see. You never see Ornn getting first turret.
Yeah, I think Mad Lad has just been playing around the solo lanes a whole lot. Like, he's been ganking top once, twice, 3 times to get these kills over onto the Ornn, to put Cassio behind and secure that first tower. Really well played here.
Yeah, if they manage to group properly and be ahead of the timers for objectives, I think KOA is just going to take this.
They're in position to take this game, absolutely. And
Go
ahead.
Go ahead and start Herald.
Yeah. Oh, stunned up, knocked up into the wall. Yes, the root comes down, but I don't think it's going to matter. Volley Bear. Remember, I said at the beginning, he's played a lot of Volley Bear, and he's been quite good at it. Flash stun. Knock up. Ult comes out from the Lulu. Shut down going over to the Cassiopeia. I don't know if they want to continue to fight this. Jinx is going to be late to the fight. Lulu's out of position, though. Has to flash over wall.
I think they could have won that fight if Morgana had R there.
Or exhaust
because
as well.
Ornn was just so
if
tanky.
Morgana exhausted someone, it might have been a better
We
fight.
get a root on the Zed.
There
Zed
is that
gets
exhaust coming out.
A little bit of damage on the Zed there. I think Morgana needs to be a little bit careful of the Zed now. Respect him a little bit more. She's just really
double
low.
knock up.
There it is.
And that, yeah, reset for Jinx. Is it going to matter?
Azir.
No, not even going to matter.
Oh,
Ult comes out from
Ornn's
Zed
so
to secure the
tanky, but
kill.
it doesn't matter. And he's just going to die. 3k for the enemy team.
They do secure that objective, but
For
in
the
return,
enemy team. I'm so sorry,
3-0.
That's what we're talking about. Does Red have hands?
Yeah, they have hands. They are showing up. This Zed might be in place to solo carry the game here. And that's 3. This Cassio was down 0-4 before this fight. Now she is 3-4. That is a huge gold swing in the favor of Cassio. I think red side is now ahead in gold, which is really bad for the side of blue, just because if red side gets ahead, they can snowball really hard with this Zed, with this Nunu, and Cassio dominating in these team fights. Back to clearing waves. Dragon's going to be coming up in a minute here. It's going to be a Chem Tech Soul. So useful, especially dealing with Zed. That damage reduction helpful against assassins. Ult onto this Ryze, and Ryze is weak, doesn't have his items. Just going to be a kill going over to Zed again, 6-0. Oh, looking at top side. Volley's coming in. Ornn ult does hit. Volley stuns,
the same thing
but ult does go
that
off.
happens
It should just be a
every
clean kill here.
time. He just constantly gets killed by that gank. He's feeling the top lane pressure. When you play top lane, you're on an island, you just get ganked all the time.
Yeah, you gotta be
Brutal.
calling your jungler saying, hey, where's my ganks? You know, what's happening
Yeah.
here?
Where's my vision? You know, where's the enemy jungler?
TP in
So-
from Zed. They're on objective. They're on objective spawn, is Mog. So looking to collect the second Herald, or second Drake for them. Third Drake of the
Hopefully
game.
Jinx doesn't steal it with the R again.
If Jinx deals with R again, I am going to go insane.
Throw it, Jinx, throw it.
No, goes over
No,
the
they're gonna
ults,
go ahead and get the
but
drag. We're gonna get
second
mid
tower.
lane turret. That's first. Oh, okay, yeah, my bad. My bad. I see what you were saying there. Second tower, yes, that
Second
is the
tower
second
going down,
tower.
yes.
I thought you were talking about tier 1, tier 2. I was like, oh no.
Oh, Zed might be caught here. Or not Zed, Ryze might be caught here. Zed is looking. Has ult back up. No flash to get on though. And Ryze is going to escape to the safety, or relative safety of his tower. I think after this wave is pushed in, could look for a dive. Nunu is hovering, but so is Volibear. I think the Zed is just... It's making or breaking this game. Like, I'm invested in the Zed. If the Zed can carry his team, that would be incredible.
Yeah, 6-0 Zed is so dangerous. He has 2 nasty
Oh, flash over from
items.
Zed right into that Jinx. And gonna get both kills.
Oh no.
8-0 at 19 minutes. This Zed is a problem. We need to find a way to deal with it. I think you just need to like group as 3 in the mid lane. Keep that exhaust up for Zed and just try and lock down with CC from this Volibear, from this Morgana.
If Zed is missing on vision, right? If they're not there, if you don't see him and you're an ADC in the mid lane, always assume he's right there waiting to gank you, waiting to kill you.
Yeah, just coming over Raptor's wall from your side of the map. Unexpected, but still, it's so dangerous.
Oh.
And they're just going to start a
Looks like they're going to go ahead and get Atacon. This is, oh my lord. This is exactly what we're talking about. Just, they get objectives.
Yeah,
and what should be the better team comp is just losing it.
Yeah. It is just a hands dip. Hands and macro, perhaps. I don't want to call it too much. Knights of the Star have done really well here. The bot lane has done really well. The ganks up top have put this jungler really far ahead. But you need to be consistent with these objectives. You know, it doesn't mean anything
Here's my
if you are ahead.
It's like 1 and 2 Jinx with a 10 CS lead against the Smolder who's 0-0 and 2 assists. Like that's not enough. That's not anywhere near enough. Smolder is getting allowed to play this game as he pleases. Ornn has been in the top lane this entire game. Like there's no roam, there's no shove, he's not there at any of the other team fights, especially bot side. It's like that's really important.
It is. It would be good if he was there. That being said, you're right. He hasn't been there. So when he is there, maybe these team fights change. With the utility the Ornn ult brings, knocking up everyone, creating a big zone of space for this Jinx to work, maybe that's the difference maker that they need. But
my fear is, like, who is he going to hit with that R, right? Zed can usually get out of it. Nunu could probably get out of it. He has to focus on Cass. Smolder should be able to get out of it, and maybe Lulu, right? Those are the 2 people who are probably going to get hit, is Lulu and Cass.
Yeah.
So it's a brutal group to go on, and if she gets hit too far away, they can't collapse on her in time. She just Rs, right? Gives her team time. Maybe Zed falls in on the Jinx, the Morgana, and they clean up the fight. But we'll have to see when we get there.
Yep, I am hoping that is a good showing here. I want there to be a big team fight, because I think both these team comps have insane team fight potential. Posturing around the dragon here, it would be Soul Point if Mog were to pick it up. This is Chemtech Drake. Just over 1 minute to go. And this is what I'm saying. So, vision. We just got out of base. This Morgana is walking through mid lane. Go bot. Get some vision down. I like where this is heading. I'm actually gonna follow this Morgana. Please put some vision on dragon. There's 1 ward. You have 3 left. You see a ward there? Okay, you ping it. Good. You have a control ward in your inventory. Please get some vision on dragon. Coming up in 40 seconds. Like, this is
crucial.
It's crucial. This is really important, especially with a Zed. If Zed comes at you from an angle you don't have vision, it's going to be very, very hard to react to, and that might just be your ADC dead. Alright, moving down with the jungler. I like this. Support and jungler going down to get some wards in. This is really good. Just some fighting in the top lane. Oh, Ornn dealing some damage.
He does so much damage. This is why I'm always confused why he hasn't fought her more. He needs to look away as soon as that R comes in. Had he walked at her with a little bit more pressure to close the distance between him and his R and her, she doesn't get that off. I would have just kept walking at her. She's dead here. Like,
it should be, absolutely. But now Cass is out of the fight. Has to base and TP there.
And KOA
also has TP, but used ult top side, so it doesn't have it for this fight. Rise is on a
Mogger's
split
is
angle here.
already on the
Fight around
drag, already in
dragon.
pressure.
TP comes out. Outside. Oh, big Nuno ult that hits. And Cass on the
Does some
backside.
decent damage.
I think this is just winning for red. Cass has that split push. But Volibear is in the middle. Where's the Jinx reset? Jinx is getting engaged
Jinx
on
should
by
still
the
live.
Zed.
Oh. Oh,
Rise
Rise
picks
with
up the
good
kill.
on Zed.
But I think, yeah, this is a one fight for the side of Mog. I think you need to remember who you're playing for, because yes, diving in as the Volley Morgana is, you know, good. You get these big ults off, but if your Jinx is being zoned away by the Zed, you're going to have no follow-up damage. You're going to have no resets. So I think trying to play around your Jinx and stick on top of her, especially if you have exhaust up and you have ult up, this is what's important.
Yeah, and you just leave your Rise to have your consistent damage. But Cass, Smolder are just going to destroy a Volibear. And they might not kill Ornn, like we saw there. It took a while for Ornn to... He was the last one alive. They all just kind of ignored him. Zed has to be the priority. We can't just engage on a team like that.
With
I
the
think
locking down that Zed, yeah.
Here's the better plan. We're already at drag. We already have the positioning. We're the ones pressuring drag. They have to come to us if they want to take the fight. If they hop on us with Zed, right, we see Zed go for R, immediately cast on R. Then we land volley Q. If volley Q lands, Morgana Q, and he's stuck there, he's going to get blown up. Ornar's already coming through, and if their team is engaging and following up with Zed, he's either going to land it on Zed and hit everyone else, or he's just going to go for everyone else. Yeah. And that's going to be a follow-up for the rest of us to kill. It's about positioning. We're playing their game, right? For some reason, we're deciding to be the engage rather than already being there and being the disengage, being the deep push, being the we're already at Baron, we're already taking it. You have to make a move. We have to be the ones who we get to play defensively.
Absolutely. Jinx Ornn is much stronger when they have to come into you if they face check you. But again, it's about these timing. You have to be there on time. You have vision on time, and I think that's what they were struggling with this series.
I'm amazed that Taterta has managed to really put his team ahead as Zed into such a beefy comp, a really tanky comp.
Yeah, boom, Kate, boom, exhaust comes out.
Again.
This is what you want. Ult comes out, forces the Zed to disengage. Still both go down though, unfortunately. Ult comes out, but it's a 4 versus 1. I don't know if, this volley is going to be enough.
I mean, if he had R, he could have just R'd away.
Well, he did R, but it wasn't.
But I don't. Enough. He just like R'd toward them, you know.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to try and do some damage, but maybe he'd try an R over wall. That might have been better.
The more and more this game lasts, Smolder's gonna get stronger. You know, eventually Zed will stop scaling, but he's just gonna be so strong. He's gonna keep killing your ADC.
Yeah, I mean, we're nowhere near full build, right? Like, Zed is 3 items compared to the 2-item Jinx, 2-item Ornn. Like, he is just so accelerated. Level 17 to the level 13 Jinx.
Here's the thing. I don't even think... Again, Kaenic Rooker. Ornn doesn't need it this game. Not Kaenic Rooker. I'm so sorry. What is that? Hollow Radiance. Why does Ornn need damage in this game? He doesn't. He just needs to be tanky. With the stats that Hollow Radiance gives you, I think it's like 40...
It's 40 MR?
40 MR?
Something like that, yep.
Like 40 MR, like maybe 300, 400 HP. Kaenic Rooker is so much better for you to tank all the AP on their team. And then once you have Kaenic Rooker, you don't even have to build any more MR. You can just build tanky, right? And that's going to put Smolder and Zed there in a bind if they ever try and fight you rather than hopping on Jinx. But like I said, there's no reason Jinx should ever die in this game. Not with the Morgana, not with the Volibear. I just think the positioning is not there, and the map awareness.
Yeah, and
right?
look at that. Like,
here he is again.
There. You know, yes, the root goes down, but is it going to matter?
Finally,
Morgana gets the shutdown. Not bad. This fight is now winning.
They should win this fight because there's no Zed, there's no damage.
Yep.
If they kill Smolder here, that's it.
Volley comes out. Is there Jinx isn't getting in though? There's no Jinx resets coming out.
This is unfortunate. Okay, and it's we have Rise still, so we have good damage.
We can still play this.
We
can still play this.
But Jinx is just not in the fight.
Jinx to get in here.
Jinx has the range. I think Jinx not being there as active I feel like Ornn can still. All right, he should just be able to walk out. There we go.
Yeah, wow. That's just...
I
It
think
might
that's a
just be a wallet
misplay.
diff. It might just be, you know, not having your Jinx there. I feel like, yes, you get chunked out first, but you need to be able to engage in that fight somehow. Whiffing ult in the beginning of the fight isn't great, just because now you don't get a reset to come back.
And they landed everything that they needed to. They killed everyone that they needed to. We knew Cass was going to eventually come, but we had Ryze and Jinx. We had the more consistent damage. Smolder was gone. Zed was gone. But Jinx just was too far away from the fight to actually do anything. And that's going to be a kill on the Cass. Shut down for Ornn.
Yeah, and
I mean,
hey,
if Ornn does get
ZTP
too
is...
tanky.
Oh, stopwatch from Morg. Big pickup there. But, yeah, this Zed is so strong.
At this point, I think this Jinx just needs to build stopwatch.
or any defensive item. Like, just something to stop the bleeding.
And that's the hard part on Jinxes. You're just a glass cannon. You don't like building defensive items. You want to build something that it's going to synergize with your passive, right? Where you're just getting on and on and on. You just keep going, and you just become this menace. I feel like he doesn't utilize his minigun enough. I think he's always on rockets, and I just think even when he's on rockets, he's too nervous to stay in a fight, right? Because he's gonna outrange Cass in all of those engages. He's gonna outrange Smolder when Smolder uses Q.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's no reason he's not there, even with as low as he was. And here's another drag that's gonna be Soul, Chemtech Soul. The fact, like, it may not be the best on this team, right? But it's so good on KOA. The fact that they don't have it is so brutal.
Yep, and again, you're gonna do damage at lower health. If you ever get low health, you're gonna be even harder to kill to get this Jinx for resets, right? So it just delays that even further, which gives more time. Smolder is now, if we can
See,
check...
I don't see why Ornn right there doesn't just kill Nunu with QE, right? They kill him. What is Smolder gonna do? Throw a Q at the Ornn with so much HP?
Yeah, but hey,
Right, they kill
252
Nunu and they
stacks,
walk
you're now
off.
online. You have that execute. So now any fight is a winning fight if it goes long enough.
Oh.
Alright, 1 second, I will be right back. I'm gonna leave you the solo cast for just a minute here.
Oh, here we got an ult on the Jinx. We got a follow from the Nunu. Jinx is gonna die. Nunu, Ornn ult is gonna come in. Volibear is gonna try to follow up. Volibear Q trying to grab a hold of somebody. Ryze ult into the fight. Engage. We got a root on the Zed. Here we go. Smolder ult coming in. Ryze with his Zanyas. He's gonna get picked probably. Oh yeah, he's just gonna go down. It doesn't result in anything. All the ult that we wasted and used. We're going to be left with the two beefy people on our team having to defend base. What a horrible time for our main caster to leave.
I
Go
just got back, and what did I miss? A huge team fight. That's crazy timing.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
The worst time for a phone call to come through. But looking at the stats here, yeah, again, speaking from the start of the game, oh, Jinx ult goes wide, sails past my window, that one. But
We're gonna
the
go
start of the
ahead
game,
and,
it was looking a KOA favor just because of the draft. But they just hand stiffed him. Like, this Zed got
We're
ahead.
gonna go ahead.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. We're gonna go ahead and go back to the instant replay through my words and through what I remember. Yeah, Zed was able to get in on Jinx, blow Jinx up. Morgana had his Zanyas to survive. Ornn ult came through to kill either Zed or Nunu. Freaking Volibear came in with his Q to land a stun. There just wasn't any damage. Ryze comes in too late and gets just destroyed by the enemy team. And our Ornn and our Volibear just walk away as Morgana gets just picked with a Q. It's unfortunate. It was a brutal fight to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's just wallet diff now. 4 items on this Zed. Super strong. Like a 4-level lead between him and the ADC. You're never getting out of it alive if he's allowed to dive onto you.
And as soon as he gets pen, which I assume he's going to get some sort of pen, Ornn is going to start having trouble with him. Volley's going to start having a lot of trouble with him. Right? He's going to start chunking them out, which is never good. You never want to see that.
No, if the enemy Zed is chunking your tanks, something's wrong.
Yeah.
That's going to be the Baron going over to the side of Monkers, and I think they're looking to close this game out, just picking up some of these final remaining outer turrets. Man, it's a brutal game to watch. Because remember, KOA was ahead early. This was a 5-1 volley bear who was yanking top consistently. This Casio was 0-4 at the beginning of the game, but just turned it around. Able to play through their Zed, through their team, just find these picks and dive onto the back line. And there doesn't seem to be much that KOA is able to do about it.
It was so good on Zundel recognizing, okay, Zed is going to be useless this game unless I can get him ahead. And that's exactly what he did with like 3 or 4 ganks in the mid lane.
Stun, grounded, Nunu ult comes out, Zed is just going to blow him up and dive out. There's a hope here. Jinx can get resets. This Nunu is trapped. But just has so much sustain. No way. And a Smolder with the resets coming down.
And see, this is why I say you don't use your rockets to kill people consistently. You do it for securing kills. Because who was he hitting there?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, still has flash up.
HP.
So does Ornn. It's just... It's a disaster, unfortunately.
And this looks like
this looks like it might just be the end of the series. Moggers were able to pull ahead and take out KOA in a brutal 3-game series. Wow, really back and forth this one. The first game went over to Moggers. They kind of just snowballed KOA. KOA took it back in the second game. They were really strong. They looked really cohesive, consistent together. This third game, they were really good at the start, but then this Zed just exploded the game, and now here we are.
Yeah, they had the comp to deal with them, but they just didn't have the hands to make it happen, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was really unfortunate, I think. But it is what it is. Sometimes you have games like this.
So who's MVP? That's the real question.
Is
it going to have to be the Zed? Is it going to have to be Tater Tot for this last game performance?
It might just be. I have to think. I think that...
Or Zundel. Because Zundel facilitated his mid laner pretty well there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just trying to look back and see while we get a break coming in here. The teams will be talking to their captains, getting us this sorted. First off, let me ask, who is your vote? Who is your vote for the MVP? I want to know that.
I'd say it's definitely not any of our top laners. Unfortunately, I love my top laners, but I just can't give it to them. I think there's a lot that could have been done that just really wasn't. In regards to our ADCs, I think they did, for the most part, what they needed to do in the games in which they did win. But I didn't feel like they were like the, oh my gosh, moments. I felt like a lot of it had to do with this mid lane from Tater Tot. It was just so active and really made this game happen. Because if it's not for him, if it's not for Zundel and their pressure in this last game, they should lose 100%. But they just take it over. So I feel like I gotta give it to Tater Tot in the Zed plays or even Zundel in the ganks.
I think I have to agree with you here. I think the Zed performance was good. I really like how the bot lane was played. I think Preston Darkshark did a really good job this match, or this series, I should say. I like the jungle. In game 2 and 3, it looked a bit invisible for me. I do think it made good plays, but again, the Nunu at the end, it was what? 1-3? 1-3-17? Yes, you have a lot of assists, but I didn't see as much ganks or as much impact as I would want to. I think I agree with Tater Tot being the MVP, with the carry performance on Zed, with the performance on Yasuo in the top lane in match 2. And remember, all the way back, that Gragas in game 1, able to survive so much pressure in the top lane, especially from that Kayn and the Mordekaiser. I think it just has to be Tater Tot.
Yeah, I think he consistently performed the best out of everyone on his team. I think he did everything he needed to do in every game to be relevant, but also to pressure the enemy team. And in the end, he's not the sole reason, but the main reason they take game 3 into a comp they should never win, but they do. And a lot has to do with his pressure, his map pressure, his hands. They just never could shut him down. So, do we plan to bring Tater Tot into the casting voice chat?
Oh, apologies. Um, we will definitely pull them in if they are available. We're just seeing if they can get um, if they can't have some time. I know a lot of players after matches like this like to take some time to rest and relax. So if Tater Tot is available, we will get them in here.
So, I guess we're back on the books.
Yeah, that is. What do you mean back in the books? Is that just
Any interesting books?
oh? Not much coming up from my side. Just been working on league stuff. So nothing of note, I'll say. I have been. I don't know if you have heard of Game of Thrones, but
Yeah.
I've only recently started watching it because I have never seen it before. So
Oh man,
that's what I've
bless
been
you.
getting into
You're very
recently.
lucky. You're very, very lucky.
Yeah, excited to see it. You know, I'm really there's this guy. You know what is he? Something Stark. You know, Ned Stark. He's about to go down to the main city, and I'm excited to see what'll happen in there.
Why are you spoiling it?
But that's the first episode. That's
Why are you spoiling it? It's the first episode. You're like, I just got into the series, and I was like, okay, I'm sure he's like a season or two in, and he's like, no, we're still on the first episode. We're waiting to see what he does. No, it's a great series. I enjoy Game of Thrones. It toward the end, it's a little lackluster, but it is pretty strong for like the first 6, 7 seasons.
interesting. Well, I'll keep that in
Def-
mind. I'll definitely looking forward to seeing it. You know, just as much as I'm looking forward to interview uh, Tater Tots if he is around. If not,
I was, yeah.
we may be left wanting here.
I'm waiting on Invincible season 4. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh, I have seen the
Yeah,
first couple of seasons and it was quite entertaining. I enjoyed it a lot.
I love Invincible. It's like my favorite series, but it just takes so long for those seasons to drop.
Yeah, absolutely. All
And they
right.
had to go off on the last episode with the animation.
All right, let's see if I can let's see if I can find my friend to bring him in. My friend Tater Tots. I say my friend. He's really all of our friends after that performance. You know, we all want to sit beside him after that Zed carry.
Nah, they're not my friends. They're my enemies.
Oh, we may have it ready.
Nice.
Looks like Tater Tots is slowly hopping in, and we will get that sorted for you guys in chat quite soon.
Oh,
Hello,
Hello.
welcome
hello,
in.
hello.
Congrats on your win over
Thank you.
um
KOA.
KOA. I completely brain farted there, but congratulations. How do you
Thank
feel?
you. I feel good.
Nice. It was there. I think we were really impressed by your Zed play in that last game. Is that something that you play a lot of? Is that something that you just pulled out because it was good into their team comp? What was the thought process there?
Um, I just play a lot of Zed into I just play a lot of Zed in ranked. And whenever I see whenever there's CC, they don't have that much CC. Like they have like Morgana and stuff like that, but it's like skill shot based.
Yep, yep.
Um,
Really?
and I saw like three kind of sort of squishy champions. I
Yeah,
also thought I could do pretty well against a Rise.
makes sense, makes
And if I
sense.
buy Edge of Night, then volley stun will basically be cancelled. So I know if I just play well, then I could just kill their ADC on repeat,
Yeah, and
which is kind of why I just chose it.
it showed when we saw the draft. We initially thought that Cassiopeia was going to be the counter into Rise, but it turns out that was going top lane, and then you were picking that Zed into the Rise mid lane, which I think we were surprised you had a CS advantage into the ranged matchup. You're doing well. You had good roams. It was just kind of a masterclass from that Zed there. So well done again. It's pretty impressive.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've got a question here about your team and their flexibility, I should say. I noticed that you guys tend to swap roles a little bit. I noticed that you
Mhm.
played in the top lane in the first two games, coming back into the mid lane for this game. I think that
Yeah.
your bot lane, if I'm not mistaken, is usually together, but then
Mhm.
you have someone else come in for your mid lane sometimes. I believe it's
Yeah.
Kiz is in and American War Mace is your top lane if he's available.
Mhm.
So how does that work? Do you guys, is it just whatever matchup is the best? Do you have like a rotation you like to choose? Did you
Well,
say after game 1 and 2, oh, just let me go mid, I'll do my thing? What was the thought process?
well, American War Mace couldn't make it today, so I just volunteered to play top. Game three, I saw a good matchup with Zed, so I just decided to go mid, and we put the Cassio top, who actually did pretty well, like because there were like a lot of ganks top lane from the Volibear, so I think he actually took off a lot of pressure for all the other lanes.
Yeah,
So I think that
absolutely.
was one of the main reasons why we did so well.
Yeah, that there was a lot of ganks from that Volibear top. I think Casio was ganked 3 or 4 times in the first 10 minutes, which was very entertaining to
Mhm.
see. I'm glad they
Yep.
managed to pull it ahead and get it together, and then play as a team to get that win. It's quite cool. I have a question here about. Let me see here. Right, how did you feel versing their solo laners? I feel
They're
like a
solo
lot of the
laners.
time you at least went even in lane, especially in like Gragas into the Mordekaiser, which I feel like is Mordekaiser favored in the early game. You went even in that. In the Yasuo into both Azir and the Malphite, because you switched lanes halfway through that game. I think you did quite well. You ended up getting a pick kill onto the Azir in the top lane with Diana. So how did you feel going up against these solo laners compared to, I guess,
Well,
what you're comfortable
top
with?
lane, I think I could have trolled in top lane in Gragas level 1 for just walking up to that ward. I kind of forgot what that champ did. But Gragas is pretty easy champ. You just WEQ and it's just a free lane with phase rush. So I know I could have just pulled that off pretty easily. I almost threw a few times though. Um Also Gragas has like priority over Alistar dash. So that was also another thing. I don't know if I picked it after, but I think the Mord was pretty strong.
The Mord pick.
There
Yeah.
no flame, but they made kind of ran it down. Um, I think our GP did really well that game, and our Azir, or sorry, Ezreal.
Yes. Yes. I have noticed that the bot lane has been quite consistent in these games, which allows, of course, you and Kiz or American War Mace to pop off on your solo lanes with help from the jungle. So I think, is that,
Hmm.
how do I phrase this? I guess my question is, how do you feel like your jungle plays around your lane and the game in general? Because I feel like you didn't get a whole bunch of ganks. You weren't the priority for some of these jungle plays, but you still managed to make it work and connect up with your team. So does your jungle
Um,
and do you and your jungle play around your bot lane, play around your top lane? What's the thought process? I say thought process a lot, but yeah.
yeah. I'll be honest. I don't really know what my jungler plays around, but I tend to play around the bot lane. I just try to get push in mid wave, roam bot whenever I can to try to help out. If that doesn't work out, then I'll lose tops like 1 or 2 minions maybe. Um, Occasionally there would probably be games where like that stacks up, but I think it's been working out a lot this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. One final question for you here. It's about you and your team's macro. I think I at least, I don't know if you want to chime in here, CL. The macro decisions, I found them really, really impressive. How you guys were always on time or early to objectives. You played well around them. You got your wards down early. You were TPing in before the fight even started, just so you could be there with your team if something did break out. Is that something that your coach has helped practice with? Is that something that you guys just like to do in, I don't know, any flex or norms that you get together on? What's the thought process?
Um, I think my team plays a lot of like games together. I'm not really there for some of them, but I have played a few in-houses. And based on the games that we've played, it just feels like everyone knows what they're doing, rather than like someone having to make calls and stuff. Like, I think the only problem that it could have pointed out maybe like a few weeks ago was like over chasing fights. But if there's someone to call off those fights, then I feel like we're easily one of the best teams in the tournament. Um, and I think we've kind of found our rhythm.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, after that game three performance, I can confidently say you guys are a good team. You guys are really good. Yeah, that game one was a bit of a stomp from your side. You played really well, and then bringing it back in that game three was impressive. So I think you guys really came out and showed that you are a strong team. You can play well together, and you're here to win, which
Mhm.
I am excited to see, especially in the upcoming finals games. I think you guys are a strong contender, so I'm excited to see what you can bring.
All right.
Anything more from you,
Yep.
Seal, before
Oh,
we let Tater Tot go and have a bit of a rest after that series?
What's your favorite book?
my favorite book.
As a bit of context here, we were talking about books during the pauses in game, so
hmm it's probably the Scythe trilogy.
The Scythe trilogy? I said book, not a trilogy.
Oh,
hey, look,
oh, oh.
a book series
Probably the
can be,
second
you
one.
know.
Second one.
Okay,
I
okay,
forgot what
okay.
it's called, but it's by Neil Shusterman.
Okay.
I like sci-fi.
That's good. Eldritch horror or more like future ristic kind of things?
Um, I don't read a lot of books. I don't read a lot of books, I'm gonna be honest. I'm engineering major, so I don't really
That's
I
the
don't really
perfect
associate with
major
books.
to read, you know. You get sick of numbers, then you can look at letters. There you go.
Exactly.
Although I suppose math at that level is all letters. So what am I saying? In any
Yeah.
case, thank you so much for this interview. I'm excited to see you and your team play in future tournaments. I think you guys were really strong in those games. You put on a good showing. So really excited to see what you can bring. And if that's everything, then have a good one. Thank you so much for coming to the interview.
Yep. Thank you. Have a
All
nice
right.
day.
Yeah, thank you
Take
for
care. Take
having.
care.
Thank you, man.
All right. And with that, I think after, oh, my brain is feeling a little bit fried right now. If you didn't notice, I was saying, oh, what's your thoughts on this? Your opinion on this? What's your, all for that interview. But no, that was good. I'm glad we could talk to the mid and or top laner from Mogger's the final. And other than that, we will have the final schedule being released sometime next week. And then leading into the weekend, we will start up some of the final playoffs, which I am super excited for. I mean, casting
Yeah,
all
me
these
too.
games, these teams have all been really good, really exciting. My first season of the LEPL is not disappointing. I think it's going to be a good showing.
I can't wait to see what my team does and see what happens in these next weekends to come. And I'm sure it's just going to be fantastic. Unfortunately, right, we didn't get to play against Moggers, but I'm sure it's going to be a great game from what they showed today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that should be everything. So, again, if you are still hanging out here in Twitch chat, thank you so much for sticking around after the games for our interview and our chat about books. Shout out your favorite book in the chat. That's all good.
Not series, singular
Okay.
book.
Singular book, I should suppose. And click that follow button if you haven't already. We will try and get some active predictions in the Twitch channel as soon as we can. Other than that, we will see you probably around the same time next week, if not a little sooner.
Have a blessed one, everyone. Be safe.
All right. Take care, and we will see you next time.